Chapter 161. Damn, what sharp archery skills. Lin Fei frowned. Who exactly were these people? Their attacks were so ferocious, wanting to kill him. Could they be from the Li clan? The Li clan appeared in Lin Fei's mind. Apart from them, no one else would dare to make a move against the Lin clan. He had just come out, yet they immediately attacked him. The target was too obvious. It was impossible for them to attack him casually. 3 sharp arrows flew over in a triangular formation. At this moment, if Lin Fei dodged, the people behind him would definitely be in trouble. This attack was very powerful, forcing Lin Fei to fight. Young master, danger! A group of guards wanted to block in front of him. Back off! Lin Fei shouted. He took a step forward and instantly created a distance of several meters, blocking in front of the crowd. Kill! If it was before, facing these 3 attacks, Lin Fei would definitely not be able to dodge. From the other party's attack, he knew that apart from himself, anyone else would die without a doubt. This was an attack from the 9th heaven of the martial path, and the archery technique was a middle-grade, yellow-ranked archery technique. Its lethality was shocking, and it could kill anyone in one shot. Such a long-range attack was indeed very powerful. Anyone who was locked on by it would definitely be in danger. Lin Fei took a step forward and raised his hand, sending out 3 saber lights. The saber lights brought along a long saber light as they rumbled forward. The momentum was no weaker than the other parties. Let's see if your archery is stronger, or my saber light is stronger. After advancing to the 9th heaven of the martial path, his Xian Qi was more than several times stronger than before. When the saber light was unleashed, it could reach a distance of 10 meters. If he used a combat skill, it would be even longer. Rumble! The 3 soul-chasing arrows were very fast, but Lin Fei's saber light was even faster. The space seemed to explode at this moment, and a powerful airwave swept in all directions like the wind. Swish! 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 The other party did not stop. It was clear that he wanted to kill Lin Fei in front of everyone. Let's see how many arrows you can block. Wang Kai kept drawing his bow, and the soul-chasing arrows were locked on his opponent. From the beginning, he had recognized this person's identity. It was said that this person was the one who led the team to kill the 3 9th heaven experts of the Li family. Therefore, Wang Kai wanted to kill him in front of everyone. A mere kid who had just advanced to the 9th celestial layer would definitely become a ghost under his hands. "Third brother, let me help you!" Lin Xiao shouted. Lin Fei stopped him. "Go back. This person is not someone you can deal with." The other party's archery skills were excellent. Lin Fei could rely on his movement technique to dodge the arrows, but if his big brother came up, facing such dangerous archery skills, he might die on the spot. That was why Lin Xiao hurriedly stopped him. Lin Xiao was not someone who would show off. Seeing the arrow flying towards him again, his heart tightened. "Third brother, be careful!" His big brother did not know the strength of his third brother. However, there was one thing that he understood. If he went up, he would only be a hindrance. He might even implicate his third brother. The gate was now in ruins. Even though the 2 parties were separated by the ruins, they could still feel the strong killing intent coming from the gate. What powerful archery skills! This person's long-range attacks are amazing. Luckily, I have the flowing wind movement technique. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to deal with him. Lin Fei was clear that he had to deal with this long-range archer first. Now, he was even more certain that these people were sent by the Li family. Otherwise, they would be from the Black Tortoise sect. However, the strong killing intent coming from them indicated that they were not from the Black Tortoise sect. However, Lin Fei was not in the mood to deal with this. Facing such a powerful archer, he did not dare to lower his guard. "You are quite courageous. You still dare to rush over? You must be tired of living." Ever since Wang Kai started practicing archery, his archery skills had been improving. Almost everyone below the 9th celestial layer could block 3 of his arrows. He had also killed many ninth celestial layer experts. After shooting out dozens of arrows, the other party dodged all of them. Wang Kai could not help but feel slightly surprised. However, it was just a surprise. He did not view the other party as a threat. Wang Kai was confident that he would win. If the other party did not rush over, Wang Kai's chances of winning would not be high. Once the other party got within range, it would be hard for him not to die. Wang Kai pulled out another 3 arrows. In one breath, he shot out 3 arrows at once. Once again, a cold light flashed in his eyes. He pulled the bowstring, and with a ding-dang sound, an invisible arrow was shot out. Invisible arrow. This surnamed Lin will die for sure. The one-eyed man seemed to be very familiar with this scene. He laughed sinisterly. What a pity. If this old man were to make a move and kill him, it would be more exciting. The rest of them were very confident in Wang Kai's archery skills. Elementary combat skill, invisible arrow. If they did not know the other party's background, they would definitely die when facing Wang Kai's archery skills. No one would be able to stop this arrow. Wang Kai revealed a smile. To be able to die under my invisible arrow, that is your fortune. Wang Kai rarely used this move. Initially, he wanted to use the soul-chasing arrow to kill the other party. Who would have thought that the other party was strong enough to break the soul-chasing arrow? Thus, he used a combat skill. Drifting wind movement technique was executed. Lin Fei was like a bird flying through the forest. Facing the 3 arrows, he could not help but sneer. With a wave of his hand, saber light turned into 3 beams of light that slashed at the soul-chasing arrow. In an instant, the distance between them closed. Xiao! After the 3 saber lights broke the arrow, Lin Fei suddenly felt an indescribable sense of danger. Boom! Lin Fei's body was like a broken kite. He crashed into a nearby building, creating a loud rumbling sound. Third brother! No one expected that Lin Fei would be so inexplicably injured and lose so quickly. Don't come over. Lin Xiao was shocked. Just as he was about to rush over, he heard Lin Fei's voice. He immediately heaved a sigh of relief. He didn't die. Wang Kai was surprised. Lin Fei did not die under the formless arrow combat technique. Kill! 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 Wang Kai did not believe that Lin Fei could dodge the formless arrow combat technique. That attack earlier should have severely injured him, even if he did not die. Xiao! 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 Lin Fei slammed his palm on the ground and charged out of the rubble. Fortunately, I have the protection of the guardian deity body. Otherwise, I would have been severely injured even if I did not die. This was the first time that Lin Fei had suffered at the hands of the other party. If not for the protection of the guardian deity body, he would have truly embarrassed himself today. Lin Fei did not dare to underestimate Lin Fei. This was only the first. What about the other 4? Lin Fei was very clear that he had to buy time for his father. Once he refined the medicinal pill, he would be able to turn the situation around. Time. I need time. So. Lin Fei soared into the air and executed his flowing wind movement technique. However, he did not use his wind wings. Danger! Danger! After experiencing it once, Lin Fei did not dare to underestimate these 3 arrows. His saber light turned into beams of white light as he chopped out. Instantly, a dazzling white light blocked everyone's vision. Brat, you want to hide from me? Dream on. Wang Kai slammed his palm on the ground and soared into the air from his mount. He looked down from above and drew his bow, wanting to kill the other party. Unexpectedly, the person behind the white light seemed to vanish. Wang Kai lost his target. How can this be? Where did he go? Wang Kai was distracted. Instantly, a beam of white light shot over. He drew his bow and fired 3 soul-seeking arrows. You fell for it. A cold laugh suddenly came from behind Wang Kai. How did you appear behind me? The saber light behind Wang Kai was like a long saber as it chopped down. Wang Kai's body split into two and fell from the sky. When he landed on the street, blood spurted everywhere. Little Kai, Wu Shixiang, and the others were startled. Then they became enraged. They did not expect Wang Kai to die at the other party's hands. They finally understood. Under the dense white light, that brat with the surname Lin actually managed to hide from their eyes. Then he took advantage of Wang Kai's mistake to kill him. What a good move. When the spectators saw third young Master Lin being sent flying, they thought that the Lin family was doomed. But after a few rounds, the powerful archer was killed by Lin Fei. It was a slap to their faces. Another expert in the 9th layer of the martial path. Lin Fei landed on the rubble. Other than his clothes being a little messy, he did not seem to have suffered any injuries. Who are you? Who sent you here? How dare you make a move against an inner disciple of the divine martial sect? Lin Fei berated loudly, directly putting a big label on them. Lin Fei was surprised. That powerful archer had 8,000 sin points on him. If an archer had 8,000 sin points, then what about the rest of the archers? Lin Fei immediately used the sin points system to check. He was shocked when he saw that someone's sin points had reached 21,000. Cultivators only had 13,000 sin points, and this person had 21,000 sin points. Lin Fei immediately put a big hat on them. If these people attacked together, it would not be a good thing. Lin Fei wanted to calm them down first. I'll kill you. The one-eyed man sneered and was about to attack. But unexpectedly, Wu Shixiang blocked his attack. Wu Shixiang frowned. Inner disciple of the divine martial sect. These words were like a sharp sword hanging over his head. They were doing well in the Shanhe County. If they made a move against an inner disciple of the divine martial sect, it would be a big crime. If the divine martial sect knew about it, they would definitely send an inner disciple to kill them. Even the higher-ups of the sect might not be able to protect them. Wu Shixiang was filled with anger. He wanted to go back and slap Li Yun to death. If he knew that Li Yun was an inner disciple of the divine martial sect, he would have definitely joined hands and killed him. Even if they knew his identity, they would still have a chance to turn things around. After all, he was already dead, so everything would be easier. Lin Fei's words were heard by everyone on the street. Wu Shixiang could not kill them all. If he did, not only would he be finished, all the gangs in the Shanhe County would be finished. Wu Shixiang regretted it. Not only did he kill Wang Kai, he was also tricked. Now, there was a sharp sword hanging over his head. Wu Shixiang was in a dilemma. He had lost the best chance to kill him after he opened his mouth. With regards to Wang Kai's archery, Wu Shixiang was very confident. Even the protective aura around his body could not block this attack. Killing the Lin family's third young master would undoubtedly provoke Lin Jintian, who was in the middle stage of profound realm. Killing two birds with one stone. This brat was really cunning. Did he think that he would not be able to kill him today? Wu Shixiang was furious. Wang Kai's archery was very good, and nothing had ever happened to him when he challenged him. This hatred must be avenged. So what if he used the name of an inner court disciple of the divine martial sect? Even if they could not kill him, they could still severely injure him and cripple his strength. The divine martial sect would not dare to do anything. After all, there were many inner court disciples in the divine martial sect. They would not stand up for one person. On the ruins, Lin Fei also heaved a sigh of relief. This person really had a background. He was actually a profound realm expert. Could it be that he was really from the profound martial sect? Chapter 162. P.S. Thanks. Love 2D Animation 1, Biohazard Counter-Strike, Big Brother Peach Blossom 1, Shattered Knight, and several other readers sent gifts. When the Lin family's third young master made a move on Li Sheng, everyone thought that he was dead for sure. Third young master Lin was extremely powerful. With a single slash, a large number of Li family disciples were killed. He killed a Li family disciple in broad daylight, then killed a few more Li family disciples in a second move. How many people in Guiyuan City could do this? More importantly, Li Sheng blurted out a sentence. Third young Master Lin was actually at the ninth sky of the martial path. This news was too shocking, too crazy, too cruel. When did third young Master Lin reach the ninth sky of the martial path? Did he use some kind of elixir? No wonder third young Master Lin came out to look for trouble. Could it be a test from the Lin family? Since when did the Lin family have the guts to make a move? Everyone kept guessing in their hearts what the whole story was like. Lin Fei was here to look for trouble. In that case, anything could be a reason. They just needed an opportunity to speak. Since Elder Li Sheng had jumped out, Lin Fei would definitely not be polite and would use him as an example. The Li family's strength was weak. If they did not make a move now, when would they? Black troopers, listen up. Those who resist will be killed without mercy. Lin Fei soared into the air and slashed down with a saber. The saber radiance turned into a white light and whistled down. The black troopers drew their sabers. Kill! 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 The black troopers' equipment was upgraded. Facing the Li family's resistance, they showed no mercy. The Li family disciples at the outermost layer were directly slashed to the ground. They did not understand why the Lin family dared to make a move. The people on the street hurriedly left, afraid that they would be killed. No one could believe that third young Master Lin dared to kill the Li family disciples. Could it be that Guiyuan City was going to change? Elderly, save me. Facing the ferocious black troopers, the Li family disciples suffered heavy casualties. Lin Fei, I will kill you. Seeing Li Sheng's clansmen die in front of him, his eyes were bloodshot, and they looked like they would pop out of their sockets. Your Li family is despicable and shameless. You sneak attacked the Lin family's mine and stole the top-grade black iron ore. Instead, you let people attack the Lin family's mine. Today, I will take revenge for my family and kill you. Lin Fei's voice was as loud as a bell, and everyone could hear it clearly. So that was the case. No wonder the Lin family was so bold. The Li family was too dishonest. They clearly knew that there were only a few days left before the conference. Yet they sneak attacked the Lin family and stole the top-grade materials. They had gone too far. Things that happened in private were different once they were put on the table. The Lin family and the Li family were in the same position. Their words were very trustworthy. After third young Master Lin said that not many people doubted him. The Li family did have the motive. You're slandering us. Don't you dare slander our Li family. Li Sheng almost vomited blood. Third young Master Lin was tricking them, sneak attacking the Lin family and stealing the top-grade materials, no matter which one it was very important and couldn't be underestimated. If the Li family was slandered, they wouldn't be able to stop for a while. Their reputation would be very bad. Everyone knew that the Lin family would lose their position this time. Such a big piece of meat would be shared by them sooner or later. Now that someone had made a move first, especially the top-grade materials, they couldn't forget about it. It would be strange if they weren't jealous. With this accusation, let's see who else dares to stand out and speak. Lin Fei crouched down and swept out with his blade. Swish, 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 a large number of heads fell to the ground. Fresh blood dyed the street red, forming rivers of blood. Bang! Suddenly, a cold wind appeared behind Lin Fei. A fist landed on his back, and his earth energy rebounded. You dare to kill my family? I want you dead. It turned out that the other elder had made a move. He didn't hesitate to sneak attack from behind, hoping to kill Lin Fei in one strike. If it was anyone else, this move would have succeeded. However, against third young Master Lin, it was somewhat useless. Jingguang first line. Due to the chaotic battle between the two experts, it was difficult to notice the small details. Lin Fei took the punch head-on. When the opponent's second punch landed, his figure flashed in the air and he pointed with a finger. It was the high-grade combat technique, Jingguang first line. The one who made the move was an elder called Li Guang. In a state of anger, he chose to sneak attack. Not good. A terrifying and dangerous aura appeared out of nowhere. Retreating. Li Guang reacted quickly. After the dangerous aura locked onto him, he panicked and chose to leave. How could a high-grade combat technique be so easy to dodge? It wouldn't be a high-grade combat technique. A bloody light pierced through his forehead. Even the earth energy protection couldn't block the attack of Jingguang first line, and he became a target in the air. If Li Guang was on the ground, he wouldn't have died so tragically. His speed in the air couldn't be compared to Lin Fei. He was a living target. At such a close distance, it would be hard for him not to die. This thing is easy to use. It's better to change the name. From now on, it will be called Returning Energy Strike. It's just that it consumes too much mystic chi. It was a good name, but Lin Fei didn't want to change it. He wondered if the person who created this combat technique would crawl out of his grave. Good fellow, 8,000 sin points. Lin Fei felt good. Elder Li Guang is dead. Li Guang's corpse fell from the sky, creating a huge crater. Dust flew everywhere. This was undoubtedly a joke to everyone. In their eyes, third young Master Lin, who didn't pose any threat, quietly killed Elder Li Guang. The corpse on the ground had undoubtedly taught everyone a good lesson. What was the saying that one couldn't judge a book by its cover? What was the saying that the river flows east for 30 years? The river flows west for 30 years. The death of Li Guang, who was at the 9th layer of the martial path, was a huge blow to the Li family. Elder Li Sansi, let's attack together and avenge Elder Li Guang. Li Sheng's eyes were wide open. The other elder, Li Sansi, was also enraged. When did the Li family suffer such a disaster? When did the Li family's elder die on the street? For hundreds of years. This had never happened before. This was simply a disgrace to the Li family. Then third young Master Lin must die. He must die in front of the Li family's gate, using his blood to comfort the family members on the ground. Third young Master Lin's strength scared the big and small forces. What kind of elixir did this guy eat? The Li family's elder said to kill him without mercy, ruthless and merciless. Is the Lin family going to have a strong third young master? Many people were guessing in their hearts. Just based on the method just now, if third young Master Lin doesn't die, he will definitely become a new expert in Gui Yuan City. Li Sheng and Li Sansi attacked at the same time. Both of them were elders, and their hearts were filled with dissatisfaction. If they couldn't take down Lin Fei, it would mean that the Li family had lost their pillar of support. At that time, the Li family would definitely become prisoners. The two of them attacked Lin Fei from the front and back. 1 slash into 2, 1 to 10,000 miles. Lin Fei unleashed 2 slashes, 2 ferocious slashes. These 2 saber techniques were especially tyrannical. This was especially so after Lin Fei's strength increased. The saber light barely reached 23 meters long, while the latter was over 30 meters long. Just the saber light alone could kill countless people. Rumble. Although the 2 of them dodged, they were still injured. What's worse was that the family members below, facing these 2 crazy attacks, once again suffered countless casualties. The scene was filled with screams. Both of them were injured and consumed a lot of mystic chi, but the effect was very satisfactory. Lin Fei closed the distance. His target was Li Sheng. This person was more powerful. His kick landed on Li Sheng's body. This wasn't a casual attack. The protective aura was directly broken. Li Sheng was instantly sent flying like a kite with a broken string. His protective aura lost its protection, and with a loud rumble, the Li family's gate collapsed. It was hard to tell what it was before. It had turned into a big pile of ruins. Kill. After reaching the 9th layer of the martial Dao, Lin Fei's speed increased again. He raised his hand and slashed down. The blade light fell like raindrops, and the huge pile of ruins was under a full attack. Xiao, xiao, xiao! 3 cold gusts of wind came from behind. Li Sanzi's sword stabbed over, and 3 water dragons whizzed over, wanting to divert the opponent's attention. He had never thought that the trash from back then would be able to suppress them with one move. Lin Fei didn't care. He rushed down, and with another blade light he attacked Li Sheng, who had revealed his figure. Although Li Sheng was an expert at the 9th layer of the martial Dao, he wasn't a Xian expert, so he couldn't recover from his injuries. Under the attack of mystic qi, he was attacked again, and it was indeed impossible for him to take it head-on. There weren't many saber techniques like Lin Fei's. Li Sheng might have a chance of winning if he attacked fiercely. Now that he attacked again, he wouldn't have any advantage. Rumble. The blade light slashed down, covering a distance of 10,000 miles. With a mid-level battle technique, Li Sheng's pupils dilated. All his escape routes were blocked, and he immediately fell to the ground with hatred. The water dragon landed on Lin Fei's body, but he blocked it with his protective aura. Inside, he had activated the invincible Vajra body, so the impact wasn't great. At most, his qi and blood wouldn't flow smoothly, and he would have to circulate the 9 revolutions Xian qi to calm it down. You killed Elder Li Sheng, you demon! In a short period of time, Lin Fei killed 2 experts at the 9th layer of the martial Dao. It was as if the heavens were playing a huge joke on him. Lin Fei grinned. I'm 3rd young Master Lin, not some demon. So. Lin Fei appeared in front of Li Sanzi, and without saying a word, he slashed down. Li Sanzi raised his sword and actually planned to fight head-on. His left hand moved bit by bit, wanting to injure Lin Fei. Unexpectedly, Lin Fei also raised his hand, returning to origin strike. With the increase in strength, the capacity of the 9 revolutions, Xian qi, gradually exceeded Lin Fei's imagination. After using a few battle techniques, there was still a lot of Xian qi in his body. Otherwise, Lin Fei wouldn't be so unscrupulous. Using battle techniques to kill was too much of a bully. Li Sanzi's eyes widened. Battle technique! Kacha! The long sword faced the blade of the baleful black saber, and the saber was cut in half. Returning to origin, finger struck down a double blow. Without the protection of the long sword, Li Sanzi died without a grave. With one slash, his left arm was cut off, and with another finger, Li Sanzi was killed on the spot. His corpse was also cut in half by the baleful black saber, falling to the ground. Chapter 163. The 3 elders were killed in a daze. 3 experts at the 9th level of the martial Dao could not defeat a single Lin Fei, and all of them died in his hands. Everyone seemed to have seen the most impossible joke. Since when did Lin Fei's ability become so strong? Killing experts at the 9th level of the martial Dao was as easy as slaughtering chickens and sheep. How did he cultivate to such a level? Everyone couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. If it was them, how many blades could they block? The tyrannical and brutal blade technique. Every blade fell on their hearts. If they made a move, they didn't know if they could block even one of the blades. That terrifying aura made their hearts palpitate. Originally, he looked gentle and amiable, but when he made a move, the gap was so big. He simply didn't treat people as humans. 3 Li family elders were killed just like that. How many people could do that? Everyone thought that after going back, they must restrain their family members and never offend Lin Fei. This kind of person cannot be offended. He was too cruel. They all understood that after losing the 3 experts, the Li family wouldn't be able to hold on for long. In the end, they would become prisoners. The Lin family took down the Li family. Then the next step would be to face the Li family's counterattack. Gui Yuan City wouldn't be peaceful anymore. It's really strenuous to use combat skills continuously. Lin Fei took advantage of the fact that no one was paying attention and took out a medicinal pill to eat. This was the medicinal pill that he had just exchanged with the reputation system. He smiled bitterly in his heart. Dealing with 3 ninth-level experts, there was a certain amount of pressure, otherwise he wouldn't have broken through their joint attack. One died. As for the other 2, it would be easy. Combat skills were useful, but they consumed too much Xian Qi. Looking at the situation, the effect was very good. Lin Fei was still very proud. After taking down the Li family today, the situation in Guiyuan City had changed. If the news of the Li family's experts dying were to spread, the Li family would really be finished. After finishing this matter, he could break through to become a Xian Qi expert. After losing the Li family, the Zhang family's internal affairs would be dealt with. Basically, there wouldn't be any problems. All the troubles would be cleaned up, and the previous troubles would be solved. Lin Fei had never tried it before. It turned out that things could be handled so easily. Of course, if it wasn't for Lin Fei's good luck and encountering the joint attack of 3 profounders, annihilating the Li clan wouldn't have been so easy, and he'd completely gained a great advantage. After the death of the 3 elders, the people of the Li clan were unable to resist at all. After being told that those who resisted would be killed and those who knelt down and surrendered would not be killed, most of them chose to surrender. Third young master, everyone from the Li family has been captured. A black armored guard ran over. Well done. Lin Fei turned around and walked into the Li family. After working for so long, he could finally collect the spoils of war. Naturally, Lin Fei wouldn't stand on ceremony with the corpses of the 3 elders. He couldn't do it in front of everyone, so he had his men carry the corpses back. The black armored guards were left outside to defend. No one would be stupid enough to go in and watch the bloody street. Everyone knew that the Li clan's vitality had been greatly damaged, but no one would have thought that it was the extermination of their clan that wasn't a huge blow to their vitality. One of the 3 great clans was gone, and the other one had become a puppet. 3 first-rate mysterious techniques, 2 yellow-ranked low-grade mysterious techniques, and 100,000 taels of silver. After a search, Lin Fei found nothing good on their bodies. It could barely be considered as a harvest, but compared to the profounders, there was a huge gap. Lin Fei didn't even think about getting anything good from them. It was impossible. Of course, the treasury was different. The most valuable place in the Li clan was the treasury, or rather, the storeroom. After killing the 3 elders, Lin Fei immediately had his men occupy the place. No one was allowed to enter, and anyone who disobeyed would be killed without question. It wasn't easy for him to have a quarrel and exterminate the entire clan, so Lin Fei really didn't want to waste his effort. The Li clan's treasury wasn't hard to find, and he already had information on it. Therefore, Lin Fei wasn't worried about not being able to find it. Along the way, corpses were strewn all over the place. Their sin value wasn't high, far from that of the bandits. Third young master, the treasury is inside. In the secret room, there was a stone door blocking the outside. Can't open it. Lin Fei asked. The key is gone. The person who held the key was accidentally killed by us, and the key is missing. The leader of the black armored guards was cautious, and he hated his subordinate to death. Choosing a good target to kill and killing the person who held the key, wasn't that a trap? Lin Fei also thought that it was a trap. The key was gone and they had to work hard. Lin Fei chased them outside. After killing the 3 ninth heaven experts, Lin Fei's words were in order. Sigh, do I have to do it myself every time I go to the treasury? My luck is too bad. Lin Fei muttered to himself as he faced the stone wall of the treasury. I'll chop. I'll chop. I'll chop again. The pitiful, baleful black blade, a divine weapon used to kill people, became a tool to dig into the treasury. Not bad, very sharp. Lin Fei said proudly as he dug. If the previous owner knew, he would probably crawl out of his coffin. People treated divine weapons as treasures, but this guy used it as a tool. What a wastrel. After the time it takes for an incense stick to burn. Lin Fei opened the treasury as he wished. Actually, he dug a big hole. The Li family probably didn't expect that the 100,000 gene boulder they prepared to use as a door lock would be dug out by Lin Fei using a divine weapon. So big. The treasury was many times larger than the Black Wind stronghold. At the same time, the big and small storerooms were connected one by one. At a glance, one could see that the outermost area was filled with ordinary items, such as gold and silver. The existence of mountains made people not dare to ignore the term family foundation. With this foundation, who knows how many experts could be nurtured? The Li family is indeed rich. As for money, Lin Fei didn't care much. What he cared about were other things. He would leave all these for the Lin family. In order to not lack money when he wanted something in the future, Lin Fei collected a batch of silver. Roughly calculating, 10,000 taels of gold was enough for him to use. Gold was still a hard currency. He entered the second storeroom. There were rows upon rows of bookshelves, and there were many deeds of land, including houses, land, and so on. Lin Fei chose to ignore them. The third storeroom was much smaller, shrunk by half. There was also a runes formation at the door, which Lin Fei broke clean. These are materials, right? After a glance, Lin Fei immediately realized that these were the good stuff. Gold could be earned, but materials weren't so easy to find. He didn't recognize many of the materials in front of him. The preciousness of materials didn't lie in Xian technique or elixir. Lin Fei cared more. The baleful black blade could accompany him for a long time. So he had to recognize the materials. Notification. Discovered various rare ores. Just as Lin Fei was wondering if he should keep the ores, the silent system suddenly let out a familiar and cold mechanical voice. Loading materials, locating materials. Lin Fei was already used to the system's reactions. He kept thinking whether he should activate the forging system or not. Lin Fei had experienced the benefits of the rune system. It was a must-have item when he went out. It would be a waste not to use it. Runes could be a good trump card at a crucial moment. Loading materials completed. Locating materials completed. Forging system activated. Lin Fei chose a stone and threw it out. This was a function of the system. Level 1 or black iron stone. Purity 80. There is a chance of forging a top-grade mortal weapon. So this was the classification. After looking at the information, Lin Fei understood the classification of this material. Materials started from level 1 all the way to level 10. Level 1 was the most common, and level 10 was the highest. Purity was a type of ore. The higher the purity, the higher the chance of success. Conversely, the chance of failure was higher. Lin Fei almost jumped up. Even the heavens were helping him. Blacksmiths and runes masters were famous. If anyone could forge a weapon that was famous in the continent, they would be able to enjoy the life of a supreme being for the rest of their lives. The forging system was activated. Even if Lin Fei's ability wasn't good, he could save a lot of trouble forging weapons compared to others. I wonder what material I'm using. He subconsciously threw out a detection. Level 5 material, special material, black obsidian. Purity 95. There is a 100% chance of forging a top-grade weapon. Damn, a level 5 material was already so amazing. Lin Fei was shocked. He thought that his baleful black saber would definitely be made from level 8 or 9 materials. He didn't expect it to be a level 5 material. With the addition of a special material, the taste was completely different. But after using the detection, Lin Fei had an understanding of these materials. They were all level 1 materials. There were no level 2 materials. Some materials didn't even have a grade. This proved that they were definitely good stuff. Baleful Black Saber is too sharp and domineering. It's not suitable for cultivation. Lin Fei thought, that top-grade black obsidian is not bad. Along with some other materials, I can try forging a weapon. There weren't many experts in Yuan City. Outsiders might not be able to tell the uniqueness of the baleful black saber, but once it was in a big place, it would be different. There was no guarantee that no problems would arise. Keep a low profile and silently make a fortune. Take it all away. The system opened the storage space and gave it to Lin Fei. In order to not look too ugly, it kept quite a few low-purity ores. After walking past the ore chamber, there was an armory. The best was 2 high-grade mortal weapons, 3 middle-grade mortal weapons, and 10 low-grade mortal weapons. It wasn't a lot, but it was the limit of the collection. He wanted to give it to his father to increase his strength. His big brother and second brother seemed to lack weapons. The last chamber was filled with elixirs. There were few elixirs that could be used to increase one's strength. The rest were ordinary, but there were many of them. For example, the qi gathering pill. After looking around, Lin Fei discovered something else. Or rather, he discovered a combat technique. Li Clan's combat technique, Jingguang First Line, a high-grade combat technique. It was even more detailed than the previous one. The previous one was a plagiarism and wasn't the true essence. When he picked up the Jingguang First Line to take a look, Lin Fei couldn't help but frown. A few words on the cover caught his attention. Chapter 164, Black Tortoise Gate. At the bottom left corner of the Jingguang Line's secret manual, there were a few words as thin as a cow's hair. When Lin Fei saw them, his face slightly changed. Lin Fei was not too clear about the power layout of Yuan City. This had nothing to do with him. After seeing these 3 words, the situation changed. Jingguang Line was a high-level combat skill. Condensing mystic qi into a single point, it could deal a fatal blow. It specialized in breaking all kinds of protective aura. The reason why the 2 Li family elders could not block the attack was because of this. Condensing it into a single point, like a bullet, it could kill whoever it wanted. There was no place to dodge. Li family is from Black Tortoise Gate? Lin Fei fell into deep thought. Li family had someone backing them. Exterminating their family would be troublesome. Since they were exterminated, the Li family became prisoners. There was no medicine for regret in this world. Since it had already happened, the only thing he could think of was how to solve it. There are too many things in the continent that are unknown. Lin Fei checked the situation of the secret room again. Hard work pays off. In a corner, he found a few letters. The handwriting was somewhat blurred and scribbled, but it was still barely recognizable. A moment later, Lin Fei spat out a mouthful of turbid air. Damn, I really hit the jackpot. On the letter, the general meaning was very simple. This was a patriarch of the Li family. In the past, he was a member of Black Tortoise Gate. Later on, he retired and established Li family. He took the initiative to send a few disciples to Black Tortoise Gate to cultivate. Unexpectedly, this person from Black Tortoise Gate did not agree. He changed his words and suggested that if there was anything in the future, they could go to Black Tortoise Gate to seek help. Damn it! Lin Fei checked again, and his face sank. He could not find the item that could prove his identity. From the letter, it could be seen that Black Tortoise Gate left a promise to seek their help. Lin Fei was very clear about the power of the sect. There were many experts. Yuan City was considered powerful, but in the eyes of the sect, Xian cultivators were just inner court disciples. There was nothing to be happy about. Because of this, people from small places did not dare to be too arrogant in big places, lest they offend the big shots. Profound practitioner experts were like local tyrants in small places. In big cities, they did not even dare to make a sound. Their status was too low. Could it be that extreme joy begets sorrow? Lin Fei flipped through it again, trying to figure out the information. He was certain that after he killed the 3 elders, someone had used the secret passage to escape from his grasp. Along the way, they had also taken away their identification to seek help from the Black Tortoise Gate. That would prove why they couldn't find the key. They must have taken it away beforehand. According to the letter, the Black Tortoise sect was based in Shanha County. In Lin Fei's territory, Shanha County was equivalent to a provincial capital. It was high up, and all the cities were under the jurisdiction of Shanha County. If I didn't have a divine weapon, I would have had an unknown enemy behind me. Lin Fei couldn't catch up with the people who escaped through the secret passage. Who knew where they escaped to? It was undeniable that after the Lin family got rid of an enemy, they immediately gained another powerful Black Tortoise sect. Good things are strewn with setbacks. Just as expected, after ordering a search, they found a secret passage. The place was hidden, and the exit was in an abandoned house in Guiyuan City. When they checked, it was empty. Who would pay any attention to an abandoned house? The abandoned house was close to the city gate. After disguising himself, it was easy to leave Guiyuan City. Even a smart person can be careless. Lin Fei shook his head. He had created a big enemy for himself, the identity of the person who escaped. Soon, they found out that he was the eldest son of the patriarch Lian. In this way, everything was logical. Other than the patriarch's son, the fewer people who knew about the secret passage, the greater the chance of escaping. This was the first time Lin Fei destroyed the Li family. He didn't handle the details perfectly. Of course, Lian's kid was smart and knew how to take away the token. The only regret was that young Master Li was too stupid and didn't know how to destroy the evidence. If he destroyed the evidence and left such an enemy, Lin Fei would definitely not know about it. An enemy in the dark was the scariest. Even if he knew that young Master Li had escaped, it was hard to know where he escaped to. Lin Fei didn't want to leave a ticking time bomb behind. He needed to get rid of this Li family. On the same day, the Lin family sealed the Li family. The news of the mine spread to Guiyuan City after being suppressed for a day. The entire Guiyuan City was shocked. The powerful Li family was exterminated in less than a day. The Lin family was really bold. They didn't make a move, but when they made a move, they struck like lightning. A sharp knife stabbed into the chest, killing them in one strike. The originally weak Lin family suddenly became extremely strong. The rumors and gossips had completely disappeared. The Guiyuan City had undergone a huge change. Of the three major families, the Li family was exterminated. They lost control of their power, and many of them were attacked by the Lin family, especially the Beigong family. The Beigong family attached themselves to the Li family and replaced the Lin family as the biggest competitor. The result was such a change. The Li family was exterminated, the Beigong family fell. Everyone was in danger, afraid of becoming the next target. Lin family, secret room. It really is the Black Tortoise sect. Lin Jintian put down the letter and frowned. He seemed to remember something. In the past, someone recognized the Li family's combat skill as one of the Black Tortoise sect's combat skills. Your father didn't believe it and thought that the Li family couldn't have originated from the Black Tortoise sect. He regretted it. In the secret room, not only Lin Jintian, the eldest brother Lin Xiao, and second brother Lin Feng were also present. This was a small meeting between the four of them. Father, is this Black Tortoise sect very powerful? Lin Xiao asked puzzledly. Why is there not much news about the Black Tortoise sect? This question, the three brothers had the same question. Lin Jintian said, the Black Tortoise sect is not a sect from our Shanha County. In our Buluo dynasty, the Black Tortoise sect can be ranked in the top 10. Its influence is not in our Shanha County. It is normal that you don't know much about it. The Shanha County was not strong, so it was not easy to know about the Black Tortoise sect. The Buluo dynasty had a total of 10 counties. The Shanha County was not famous and was not at the bottom. It was just barely there. Its geographical location was not good. It belonged to the most remote area of the Buluo dynasty. Guiyuan City was a remote place, so there was not much news about the Buluo dynasty. If it was a family from the Shanha County, then they would definitely know something about the Black Tortoise sect, or even some news about other sections. Father, The Li family has been destroyed by us. Li Yin, that evil survivor, has gone to the Black Tortoise sect. He will definitely harbor hatred and will definitely target our Lin family. Lin Xiao said, I think we should first arrange a way out so that we will not be caught unprepared. Lin Jintian shook his head and smiled. Little Xiao, you are still too inexperienced. Have you forgotten about the sect agreement? Sect agreement? Lin Fei was curious. Our classmate Lin Fei. Ever since he came to this world, his knowledge has been constantly increasing. But for some things, he still had a smattering of knowledge. When he heard about the sect agreement, he was confused. It seemed that the Black Tortoise sect did not dare to attack them. 500 years ago, the Beluo dynasty was in chaos. 300 years later, the dynasty stabilized. In order to prevent the sects from fighting each other and harming the families in the county, a new sect agreement was made. The agreement states that the sects cannot attack the families. The sects cannot. Lin Jintian explained the agreement between the sects in a relaxed manner. That is to say, the Black Tortoise sect will not launch a large-scale attack, but it is very likely that they will arrange experts to deal with our Lin family. Lin Feng's strength was not high, so he was very sensitive in his judgment. Lin Jintian was very satisfied with his 3 sons. The eldest son was brave and good at fighting. The second son was good at scheming. The youngest son was tyrannical, ruthless, and cunning. Fortunately, the 3 sons did not have any conflicts. They were very harmonious with each other. This was what Lin Jintian was most satisfied with. If the Black Tortoise sect wants to attack, it will not happen in this period of time. We just need to prepare in advance. After explaining, Lin Jintian let Lin Xiao and Lin Feng leave first. There were some things that they did not need to know for the time being. Big brother, second brother, don't leave first, Lin Fei said to them. The 2 of them did not know what was going on. When they saw Lin Fei take out 2 elixirs and pass them to them, they revealed doubtful expressions. This is a lesser primal pill. After consuming it, you can break through 1 or 2 stages. Big brother has been stuck in the 8th heaven for a long time. It is time for him to break through to the 9th heaven, Lin Fei explained with a smile. With the increase in reputation, the reputation system had been activated, allowing one to purchase elixirs. The lesser primal pill was one of them. 100 reputation was equivalent to 500,000 experience. With the Black Tortoise sect as an enemy, the Lin family was not at ease. Lin Zhentian had miscalculated, so he took out 2 elixirs for his 2 brothers to break through. If Lin Xiao could break through to the 9th heaven of the martial path, the Lin family would have another ferocious general. The 2 of them were pleasantly surprised, but there was also some doubt in their excitement. You 2 brats, these are genuine lesser primal pills. Why are you still not thanking your 3rd brother? Lin Jintian recognized the lesser primal pills with a glance. They were of superior quality. He was shocked. What kind of fortuitous encounter did my son have? In the past, he wanted to use lesser primal pills to break through, but they were priceless. Hearing this, Lin Xiao and Lin Feng hurriedly apologized to their 3rd brother. Their father's words were not for nothing. Lin Fei knew that they were doubting him. After all, he had increased his strength too quickly like a rocket. He could even kill Xian practitioners. If this were to spread, it would definitely be shocking news. All of this needed an excuse. This excuse was very old-fashioned. It was nothing more than a fortuitous encounter with a strong practitioner. This kind of fortuitous encounter was the most common in the Xiantian continent. Later on, it was nothing more than being nurtured by a strong practitioner. How did he become so powerful? This could explain the origin of the elixirs in his hands. These are the 2 high-grade mortal weapons that we found in the Li family. 1 for each of us. Lin Fei threw out the high-grade mortal weapons. Martial artists, elixirs, Xian techniques, and weapons were all indispensable. The 2 of them did not stand on ceremony. Each of them took out a high-grade mortal weapon. After expressing their thanks, They immediately ran out and prepared to break through to the next realm. Xiao Fei, looks like you have no interest in the position of patriarch. After they left, only the two of them were left in the secret room. Lin Jintian had a complicated look in his eyes. His actions just now were only superficial. People like Lin Jintian were different. His thoughts were more than superficial. His cheap father was indeed amazing. He could even see this. The position of patriarch is a restriction for me. I am not the kind of person who can be limited to a certain place. My goal is to become a peerless expert and climb to the peak of the martial Tao. Lin Fei's meaning was very clear. I will not be the patriarch. The position of patriarch had always been the most complicated thing in the family. Lin Fei had directly announced that he would not be the patriarch. Raising the strength of his eldest and second brothers and giving them high-grade mortal weapons was indeed a method. Chapter 165. Lin Fei said to pursue the pinnacle of martial arts. Although all of this was within Lin Jintian's expectations, he still showed a rare expression of disappointment when he heard it. The Lin family had more than 200 years of history in Guiyuan City. As the current patriarch, Lin Jintian had always wanted to build the Lin family into a 1,000-year family and had put in a lot of effort. Lin Jintian had always wanted to hand over the position of patriarch to his second son, Lin Feng, so that his eldest son could be a helper and ensure that the Lin family could be passed down without any mistakes. Ever since his youngest son had returned, there had been 365 major changes, from killing the Rune Master to killing the Xian practitioner, and then to killing the 3 elders of the 9th heaven of the martial Tao. Everyone knew that the Lin family had a martial genius. Therefore, Lin Jintian had the idea of letting Lin Fei be the patriarch. He believed that his son would definitely bring the family to greater heights. It would not be a problem for them to dominate Guiyuan City and even enter a big city like Shanhe County. But Lin Jintian could see that his youngest son's ambition was not here. Therefore, he asked the question just now. Father, do you think it is meaningful for me to be the patriarch? Lin Fei asked back. Lin Jintian was silent. It had always been his wishful thinking. Now that he thought about it, was the position of patriarch really suitable? He asked himself. At least, it did not seem suitable now. Lin Fei saw the change in his father and knew that his words just now had an effect. He was very sincere. What does a patriarch need to scheme all day? You scheme against me, I scheme against you. It is not suitable for me at all. My future path will be to travel the entire Xiantian continent and meet all the experts. Do you want the Lin family to have an expert or a scheming patriarch? Lin Jintian waved his hand. Forget it. Go with the wind. You are not suitable to be the patriarch. The words just now had indeed moved Lin Jintian. His youngest son had been accepted as a disciple by an otherworldly expert. In a year, he had reached the peak of the Hotian realm and his combat ability had reached the early Xian realm. How many people in the Xiantian continent would have such an opportunity? It could be said that the Lin family's ancestral grave was emitting smoke. To be able to achieve such a result at the age of 17, he could be said to be a genius disciple. Especially when he displayed his abilities, he could be said to be a monstrous genius. When he was 17 years old, he was only at the 6th heaven of the martial Tao. Lin Jintian could not help but think of himself back then. What would such a genius be like when he was 30 or 40 years old? Even Lin Jintian was unable to calculate it. It was a mystery that could not be solved. However, it was definitely a position that one could only look up to. No one would know, no one would be able to guess. Therefore, it was right for his son to propose to be the clan leader. Perhaps in the future, his youngest son would become the pride of the Lin family. Seeing that his father had given up on the idea, Lin Fei heaved a sigh of relief. Patriarch? What was so good about it? He wasn't willing to be the clan leader. He had to scheme all day and lose the opportunity to cultivate. It wasn't just an ordinary kind of hard work. Lin Fei's goal was to continuously pursue the limits of martial arts. "Father, this is the elixir I prepared for Big Brother. Help him keep it first." Lin Fei took out a jade bottle and handed it to his father. Lin Jintian was dumbfounded. He stared at the elixir in the jade bottle and blurted out, "Xiantian elixir!" In the past, it was all thanks to a Xiantian elixir that he was able to break through to the profound realm. For this elixir, he almost died on the way. One could imagine how important it was. He didn't expect to see another Xiantian elixir tonight. He was excited and passed the jade bottle back. "This is your Xiantian elixir. I will help you with the elixir for little Xiao." A Xiantian elixir was equivalent to the birth of a profound realm expert. No one dared to ignore the importance of a clan that could stand for 100 years. It had been a long time since such an elixir appeared in Guiyuan City. Lin Fei shook his head. "I don't need the Xiantian elixir for the time being. I specially prepared this for Big Brother. After taking the minor elemental elixir, Big Brother will reach the peak of the post-liminary realm. With Father's protection, advancing to the profound realm won't be a problem." Why was Lin Fei so polite? It was because the Xiantian elixir was useless to him. To advance, he was different from them. He needed to complete a mission. The mission to break through wouldn't be simple. It wasn't important whether he had the Xiantian elixir or not. He might as well let his big brother succeed. "Your big brother will remember your kindness for the rest of his life," Lin Jintian said. "I will help him keep the elixir first so that he won't be lazy." Lin Fei chuckled. He could see the gratitude in his father's eyes. Coming out from the secret chamber, Lin Fei was on his way back to the courtyard. After explaining everything, he was in a good mood. He had lost all the pressure, and his soul seemed to have improved at this moment. His soul had also fused quite a bit, so he shouldn't be affected in the future. Under the moonlight, Lin Fei's lips curled up into a smile. After working so hard for so long, he finally got what belonged to him. No matter how good a cultivation technique or weapon was, it was still not as good as the fusion of his soul. Lin Fei was very relaxed. He felt like he was floating in the air. He thought to himself, "Thankfully, I didn't work for nothing these past few days. I don't think I need to interfere with what happens next. Father should be able to handle it well." He had been back for half a month. 2 months of vacation was still very long. The next day, Lin Fei woke up early. When it was time to eat, he did not see his first and second brothers. He understood that they were in closed-door cultivation to break through. This breakthrough would require some time. The minor primal pill was very useful. It was very easy for them to break through their current cultivation. As for whether they could break through 1 or 2 minor realms, that was up to them. After eating, Xiao Chan wanted to go out for a walk. However, when he thought about what happened yesterday, he realized that Lin Fei would come to his courtyard. Along the way, the Lin family disciples greeted him politely. At the same time, they felt a sense of fear. It was like he was a demon that would open its fangs and eat people at any time. Being strong isn't a good thing. Lin Fei was very clear that they were afraid of him, creating a chasm between them. When he returned to the courtyard, he did not see the azure lawn. Lin Fei could not help but feel curious. Where did this lass go? Could it be that I have been treating her too well recently? After resolving the problem, there was no more pressure. His soul had also fused a lot. Somehow, it seemed like he was still lacking something to reach true perfection. The weather is good. Let's sleep first. Recently, Lin Fei had been going out early and returning late. His laziness had reappeared. As a gaming otaku, sleeping was unchangeable. Even if this was the Xiantian continent, he did not want to be surrounded by everyone and be a monkey. Young master, young master. Lin Fei, who was deep asleep, was still very sensitive to his senses. This was the reaction of a martial artist. If he slept like a dead pig, he would not even know when he was killed. When sleeping, a martial artist would leave a perception to remind him at any time. Actually, Lin Fei knew that someone had appeared outside. What's the matter? Speak quickly. The guard outside the door was very respectful. He did not even dare to raise his head to look at third young Master Lin. Someone who claims to be from the Rune Guild has arrived. He said that young Master's maid, the Azure Luan, was assassinated on the streets outside. Fortunately, the Rune Guild came to her rescue. Azure Luan is still in the Rune Guild now. Lin Fei's face darkened. Who was it that tried to assassinate her? How audacious! Even daring to attack this young Master's maidservant. The poor guard could barely hold on. This murderous aura was too terrifying. Young Master really cultivated this murderous aura. I heard it's the remnants of the Li family, the guard said cautiously. This lass is really worrisome. Outside the door, a black-robed runes master with 3 runes on his chest was a level 3 runes master. At this moment, he was pacing back and forth. Yesterday's incident was known by the entire Gui Yuan city. The Li family was removed from the list. There were even rumors that the Li family patriarch had died outside. As for whether the news was correct or not, no one knew. There is no smoke without fire. Sometimes it was true. For a moment, everyone who had a relationship with the Li family was afraid of the Lin family's revenge. All kinds of curses fell on the Li family so that they would not be a burden. The Rune Guild did not participate in this kind of thing. Zhang Yin did not understand why Master wanted him to invite third young Master Lin over. Could it be because he killed the 3 Ninth Heaven Elders yesterday? But it was not worth it. Master was a level 5 runes master. From the news outside, it was known that this Lin Fei was very cruel. There were all kinds of versions that described third young Master Lin as a cruel killer. Runes masters had always disliked martial artists. It seemed that in the eyes of martial artists, besides training, they only cared about killing. Runes masters were different. Besides training their soul strength, they also researched runes. They made full use of their time, unlike martial artists who fought and killed all day long. To put it bluntly, runes masters were all technical otakus. They only knew how to research all day long. You are someone from the Rune Guild? When Lin Fei walked out, he saw a young man pacing back and forth. He seemed very annoyed, as if he had waited for a long time. Little did he know that Lin Fei's reputation was too big. The guard stopped a few times. Hence, Zhang Yun was unlucky. He waited for a full hour. Luckily, they were technical otakus. It was easy to control their mentality. This person was so rude. His first impression of Zhang Yun was not good. If it was not for Master's request, he would definitely leave. Follow me. Zhang Yun did not want to say more. He turned around and left. This action, in the eyes of Lin Fei, had a different meaning. Damn, those who are in the field of research are really hot-tempered. I just waited for a while. Is there a need to be so angry? You even dare to put on airs in front of me. Isn't Green Phoenix helping you? I will teach you a lesson. Let's see what qualifications you have. The guard behind really wanted to say, Young Master, this person waited for an hour. Right now, he really did not dare to say such words. With third young Master Lin's ferocious reputation, saying it would be courting death. Rune Guild. Lin Fei knew the way. There was no need for the people from the Rune Guild to lead him. He walked briskly, like a white shadow, swaying and swaying. When Lin Fei appeared on the street, an accident happened. Not good. The homicidal maniac is out. Everyone ran. It was very strange. Chapter 166. Rune Guild. The changes in Gui Yuan City have little impact on the Rune Guild. It should be said that there is no impact at all. The Rune Guild is a peace-loving organization that advocates a peaceful world, putting an end to wars and putting an end to a series of illegal and peaceful existences. In the Rune's president's office, President Mu Changkong is in a state of excitement. It is as if he is injected with chicken blood, which makes people laugh. He looks like an old man who has picked up a peerless treasure. Little girl, this old man is not a bad person. Look at my face. How can I be a bad person? Don't worry. None of them dare to come to this place. I want to go back. Qing Wan, who is dressed in green clothes, has a pale face. Apparently, she was frightened by the previous incident. Even now, she is still worried and afraid. Today, Qing Wan went to pick up some things. It just so happens that she has run out of things. She took the initiative to go out to purchase them, but she was ambushed by bad people. If not for young master's runes, she would have died in the hands of the other party. Then this old man came out and brought her here. Regarding this strange-looking old man, Qing Wan put him in the blacklist. This old man is not a good person. Otherwise, why would he not let her go back? As the president, if Mu Changkong knows that he is blacklisted and becomes a bad old man, he will definitely blow his beard and stare at her. I will arrange someone to inform your young master to come over. Wait for a while, he should be here soon. Mu Changkong said amiably, Aren't you worried that if you go out now, you will encounter those people again? What the old man said is right, it makes sense. With a suspicious attitude, she said, You are not lying to me. I am the president. Why would I be afraid of others? Mu Changkong felt relieved. Oh, right, is your young master very powerful? Qing Wan is very proud. My young master is very powerful. Today, those people must not be able to fight against my young master. That's why they chose to attack me. They are really despicable. The runes on the street should belong to your young master, right? Mu Changkong asked cautiously, feeling ashamed in his heart. In order to figure out a matter, he lied to a girl, losing his face. In fact, today's matter was very simple. For the past few days, Gui Yuan City has not been peaceful. Mu Changkong just happened to be returning from the county capital and coincidentally encountered an assassination attempt. He wanted to step in and save them. As a lover of peace, he hated fighting and killing the most. He, as the president, was no exception. Needless to say, the girl in green threw out a runes, which blocked the fatal attack and injured the opponent, buying time for Mu Changkong. Mu Changkong saw the runes attack and was extremely shocked. When did level 2 runes become this strong? Therefore, with this thought in mind, Mu Changkong brought the girl back, wanting to know more about this mysterious young master. Level 2 runes were not advanced runes. The power they displayed surpassed ordinary level 2 runes. When it came to the specific power, it reached the level of level 3 runes. This old researcher, Mu Changkong, was tempted. Runes technology belonged to a kind of exploratory development. Often, an inspiration could change the development of runes. With the appearance of the mysterious young master, Mu Changkong couldn't help but think of the mysterious genius a few days ago. When did Gui Yuan City have so many runes geniuses? An enhanced version of level 2 runes appeared on a maid. It was worth observing. Qing Wan was a good girl, a good maid. This old man was a bad guy. Otherwise, why would he want to inquire about the young master's news? Don't underestimate the maid. Mu Changkong's image today was too weird. If his granddaughter did it, the effect would be better. Unfortunately, he didn't know that his image had long been blacklisted. Then, Qing Wan didn't speak and remained silent. Mu Changkong was speechless. This maid was too cunning. He just got some clues and whetted his appetite, but she didn't say anything. No matter what he said, he couldn't make her talk. Sigh, I'm old, I'm really old. Mu Changkong had no choice but to hope that his disciple wouldn't disappoint him and bring the young master back. If it was the young master of another family, Mu Changkong would definitely take the initiative to find out more about him. Lin family. Third young master Lin. Mu Changkong took a step back. A young master? Could he be a runes master? Could he even know runes? Perhaps he got it from somewhere. The situation in Gui Yuan City had changed drastically. The Lin family had unexpectedly appeared, and it was not advisable to get too close. This was the second time he came to the Rune Guild. Lin Fei didn't expect such a situation, and he felt relieved. Fortunately, it was someone from the Rune Guild who made a move. The remaining members of the Li family would die a horrible death. Lin Fei pondered for a while. When he returned, he would launch an attack. Assassinations today, assassinations tomorrow, and it would never end. Just thinking about it made him furious. Zhang Yuan brought a young man into the guild, and many people noticed them. Under Mu Chongkong, there weren't many outstanding disciples. Zhang Yin was one of them, and he was rather well-liked. Today he brought a young man with him. Could he be another disciple of the president? Master, disciple is back. Zhang Yin stood at the door and knocked on it. Come in. Zhang Yin didn't have a good impression of third young Master Lin, so he didn't say a word along the way. He pushed the door open and strode in. Young Master. Lin Fei came in from outside. Before he could react, a delicate fragrance wafted over, drilling into his nose. This lass. Qing Wan was hugging Lin Fei like an octopus, looking extremely ambiguous. Lin Fei also knew that Qing Wan wouldn't usually do such a thing. She must have been frightened by the assassination. He stretched out his hand and patted her back lightly. Don't be afraid, young master is here. Actually, Lin Fei wanted to say, Sweetheart, young master is here to pick you up. A serious technical otaku and an excited old man. Lin Fei didn't want to interact with them. Technical otakus were the hardest to interact with, and he had experienced this a long time ago. Old man, many thanks for saving my Qingwan. This is 1,000 silver taels, a small token of appreciation from this young master. Lin Fei was very straightforward. He threw out 1,000 silver taels, very generous. Lass, let's go home. Zhang Yin was furious. His master had become an old man. This was too impolite. How dare he speak to his master like this? Who did this brat think he was, to dare to be so rude in the Rune Guild? Brat, who allowed you to leave? Zhang Yin had an impatient personality, and his temper was quite bad. Mu Chongkong, who was given a good person card, had black lines on his forehead. Lin Fei narrowed his eyes and looked at Zhang Yin. You think the money is too little? A dangerous aura suddenly rose from Zhang Yin's heart. He subconsciously wanted to take a defensive action. What are you doing? This is the Rune Guild. Get out. Mu Chongkong's face darkened. This disciple of his really didn't know how to speak. He regretted not finding someone with a good temper. Once he was forced, he almost lost his footing. This was too embarrassing. Zhang Yin walked out unwillingly. Young man, don't be so arrogant. Mu Chongkong pointed to a chair. Sit down and have a chat. Qing Wan lowered her voice. Young master, this old man isn't a good person. He specially inquired about your news. The level 5 runes master, Mu Chongkong, had an awkward expression on his face. What a lass! I just saved you, and the next thing I know, you're up to no good. My impression is that he's a bad old man. Am I really that bad? Lin Fei glared at Qing Wan. He pulled Qing Wan to sit down and said earnestly, Lass, don't talk nonsense. How can the first president of the Rune Guild be a bad person? President, don't you think so? Mu Chongkong laughed dryly. Young man, you're right. Your young master is still sensible. For a president to be called a bad person by a maid, it was indeed embarrassing. Luckily, Mu Chongkong wasn't a petty person. He was just joking and wouldn't take it seriously. President, why did you ask someone to invite me over from afar? Lin Fei went straight to the point. My maid doesn't know anything. Mr. President, please don't take it to heart. Along the way, he didn't understand why he came to the Rune Guild. Then, from Qing Wan's words just now, Lin Fei realized one thing. Could it be related to the runes? Mu Chongkong quietly sized her up. He used his soul power to check. First, he had to check if she was a runes master so that he could confirm his thoughts. Are you a runes master? What a strong soul power. Is this level 4 or level 5 power? I'm just a playboy. How can I be a runes master? Mr. President, Please don't joke about this. This joke isn't funny at all. Lin Fei said seriously. Sure enough, she came for the runes. As a level 3 runes master, Lin Fei's soul power was usually sealed. It wouldn't leak a trace of soul power. It was a method to hide soul power. Even if a level 10 runes master stood in front of him, he wouldn't be able to detect it. Luckily, Qing Wan was sensible. Qing Wan, this girl, had a smug look in her eyes. You old man, you really aren't a good person. Could it be that I was wrong? With level 5 soul power, he couldn't detect any soul aura. Could it be that he was wrong? The power of level 2 runes could reach the power of level 3 runes. Other than the work of a runes master, no one else could reach this level. Mu Changkong retracted his soul power without leaving a trace. If he wasn't a runes master, he wouldn't have been able to detect it at all. I'm quite curious. Where did the runes that your girl used come from? Those runes are very magical. They aren't level 2 runes, but they're comparable to the power of level 3 runes. Do you know? Mu Changkong threw out a sentence and observed the other party's reaction. Lin Fei stood up with a whoosh, his face full of shock. It can't be. Level 3 runes? F***CK. I've suffered a huge loss. Could it be that he had guessed wrongly? Looking at the other party's expression, he didn't seem to know the value of runes at all. These runes aren't yours. Mu Changkong heard the other meaning in his words. Lin Fei sighed. These runes aren't mine. I bought them from an old man on my way back. At that time, that old man bragged that the runes he made were extremely powerful and unique. He even said that he would sell them to me cheaply. At that time, I thought that I met a swindler. I was afraid that he would pester me, so I casually bought 1 runes. If I had known earlier, I would have bought all of them. Qing Wan almost covered her mouth and laughed. Young master is so bad. The runes were obviously made by him. Sure enough, a runes master passed by Guiyuan City. Mu Changkong also thought so in his heart. When he heard that, he still felt regretful. If he had level 2 runes, he might be able to crack it after studying it for a while. What a pity, what a pity. We can go now. Lin Fei believed that the old man would believe him if he came up with such a story. Let's go. Mu Changkong sat down dejectedly. Another clue was broken. Lin Fei pulled Qing Wan and turned to walk out of the door. As for the 1,000 taels of silver, it was for expression. Just as he was about to open the door, the outside door was pushed open. A white figure walked in. Suddenly, a girl's voice came out. Chapter 167. P.S. Thanks to Shattered Knight and Resident Evil Terror Terminator for tipping again. The person who came in was none other than the girl in white, Mu Ning, whom he had met once before. Lin Fei's heart skipped a beat. Looking at the girl's expression, he had a bad feeling. He pulled Qing Wan and walked outside, not taking it seriously at all. Damn, why did I meet this girl here? She seems to be angry with me. When did I offend her? Lin Fei couldn't figure out why. The only thing he could do now was to leave the Rune Guild as soon as possible. Mu Ning's temper was not good recently. Since she came to the conclusion that the young man was a genius in the runes, Mu Ning had arranged for people to look for him. However, this person disappeared mysteriously and seemed to have left this place. Every time Mu Ning saw her grandfather frowning, her heart ached. She swore to find this person and see what kind of person he was. Especially today, when her grandfather came back from Shanha County, he was not in a good mood. Mu Ning was not in a good mood either. When she was in the hall, she saw senior brother Zhang Yin. He heard that the young master had come, so he came to see if there was anything he could do to help. Thus, there was the beginning of the scene. Don't leave. Seeing that this guy was about to leave without saying a word, Mu Ning's stubbornness rose, and she reached out to block the door. It was not easy to catch you. How could I let you leave? Because she was anxious, she didn't pay attention to the door sill and bumped into it. At this time, the girl subconsciously wanted to grab something to stabilize her body. Thus, another ambiguous scene played out. Mu Ning hugged Lin Fei like an octopus. Her whole body was attached to his chest, and a masculine smell came to her nose. She didn't know why, but she seemed to have found a safe place. Lin Fei was dumbfounded. Was he being taken advantage of? Her breasts were big, but he didn't know if they were steamed buns or bamboo shoots. Speaking of which, this was the first time that someone threw themselves into his arms. In front of a delicate beauty, Lin Fei didn't mind enjoying it for a while. After all, it was a rare opportunity. Little did he know that there were two people in a state of anger. Qing Wan's eyes were about to spit fire. She thought, what a shameless woman. How dare she seduce my young master? Next time, I must make my young master stay away from this shameless woman. The other one is President Mu Changkong. His granddaughter was taken advantage of. What was this? Cough. Mu Changkong coughed and broke the rare atmosphere. Grandpa, he bullied me. The first to react was Mu Ning. She quickly ran to her grandpa's side. Her face was flushed red. She looked as if she had been bullied by someone. F***CK, you clearly took advantage of me. When did I bully you? Lin Fei felt wronged. He subconsciously moved, but then his heart thumped. Damn it, this girl is the president's granddaughter. I better leave quickly, or else I'll be in trouble today. She pulled Blue Wan's hand and wanted to leave. Young man, don't be in a hurry to leave. How could Lin Fei be in the mood to stay? He headed straight for the door. With a bang, he bumped into an invisible wall and was pushed back. A white, glazed door blocked the entrance. This was obviously done by President Mu Changkong. This action told Lin Fei not to leave and to sit down and chat with him. Lin Fei secretly cursed the old fox. This is clearly bullying. How can you be so barbaric? You are a president, after all. Chairman Mu, what do you mean by this? Do you want to keep me here? My Lin family is not easy to bully. Lin Fei's face sank. He would not sit down obediently. It was necessary to put on an act. Level 5 Runes Master. Lin Fei could not afford to offend him for the time being. Especially he was a branch president. He could destroy the Lin family just by moving his hand. Grandpa, he is the one who did the question last time. Mu Ning shamelessly exposed Lin Fei's true colors. She really wanted her grandpa to teach this guy a lesson. Since she was born, it was the first time someone took advantage of her. It would be strange if Mu Ning was not angry. She was also the granddaughter of the Rune Guild's president. It was natural for her to be a little willful. F***CK was really like this. The thing that Lin Fei did not want to happen the most had happened. He simply pretended to be confused. Beauty, what are you talking about? I don't know anything. What question do you think I know? Sophistry. You still dare to sophistry. If Mu Ning's gaze could kill, Lin Fei wouldn't know how many times he would have died under this gaze. She had never seen such a shameless person. The original question was obviously done by this guy. Now that he didn't admit it, it wasn't something shameful. You are lying. That question was done by you. Lin Fei would not admit it even if he was beaten to death. Chairman Mu, I think this question should be your granddaughter's mistake. I am a lazy person. How would I know about runes? My family has an urgent matter. I hope that Chairman Mu will let us leave. You don't want this matter to spread, right? Mu Changkong looked at his granddaughter and said, What are you going to do about the matter just now? Mu Ning was slightly startled. What was wrong with her grandpa? This person was the person who did the question. Wasn't he the person that grandpa was looking for? Lin Fei secretly heaved a sigh of relief. It was good that the old man did not believe him. Next time, he would not come to the Rune Guild. I was rude just now. I hope Miss Mu doesn't take it to heart. Lin Fei thought in his heart, If you don't want a way out, then I will satisfy you. My daughter is as pure as ice and as clean as jade. Do you think you can solve it with just a sentence? Mu Changkong's face sank. The atmosphere in the office became cold. Oh my God, this was a trap for him. It had always been Lin Fei who tricked others. He did not expect that there was someone who wanted to trick him. He could not find a reason. Thinking about it made him speechless. Most importantly, he would definitely be tricked once. The influence of the Rune Guild. Lin Fei did not dare to look down on it. Offending the Rune Guild was not a wise move. This is 50,000 silver notes. Take it as my apology. Mu Changkong did not say a word. Lin Fei endured the pain and took out another 10,000 silver. Are you satisfied now? 60,000 silver is not a small amount. Don't be so greedy. What? You still don't agree? You still want to trick me? I will endure it. Another 10,000 silver. There was still no movement. Until after 10,000 silver, Lin Fei became angry. If you still don't agree, don't blame me for being impolite. Do you think my money will come from the wind? At this moment, Qing Wan, who was at the door, pulled his young master. Young master, it seems like we can leave now. Lin Fei almost vomited blood. He realized that the runes were removed. You old fox, you really dared to trick me. You can leave now. Student Lin Fei returned in defeat. Not only was he taken advantage of, he even had to pay 100,000 taels of silver as compensation. My pitiful money doesn't grow on trees. Until after they left. Mu Changkong laughed out loud. This brat, if I don't teach him a lesson, he will really think that he is the king. Grandpa, how can you be like this? Mu Ning stamped her feet. She couldn't understand what her grandpa was going to do. She even tricked that brat of 10,000 silver. Mu Changkong laughed. That bastard dared to take advantage of you. 10,000 silver is light. It just so happens that your grandpa wants to buy some runes materials and is short of money. The Lin family destroyed the Li family. 10,000 silver is nothing. If Lin Fei knew about this, he would definitely vomit blood. Grandpa's money was also earned by killing. You just said 10,000 silver. Are you trying to kill me? Mu Ning asked. But you can't let him go. Mu Changkong laughed. My good granddaughter, don't worry. This brat is very cunning. The old man suspects that he is the master of the runes. After what you said just now, even though he rejected us straightforwardly, he still revealed a flaw. As for why Grandpa let him go, it is because he owes us a favor. Mu Ning was very clear that her grandpa would never fight a battle he was not sure of winning. Listening to what he said, could it be that the hateful brat will take the initiative to come to them? Grandpa, in the end, what is the method? Please tell your granddaughter. Mu Ning shook Mu Changkong's arm. She used her great skill of acting coquettishly to kill both men and women. Mu Changkong didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He could only say, Your grandpa came back from Shanha County today. I heard that the Black Tortoise sect is coming to our Gue Yuan City. Mu Ning was surprised. Could it be that the backer of the Li family is looking for trouble with that brat? So smart, Mu Changkong said. That brat is very powerful. He personally brought people to take down the Li family. The old man suspects that the Li family's profound practitioner should have died in the hands of the Lin family. If that brat is really the master of the runes, then it shouldn't be a big problem for them to join hands and kill the Li family's profound practitioner. How is this possible? A profound practitioner is... Mu Ning revealed a look of disbelief. Mu Changkong said, Nothing is impossible. If he is a master of the runes, then he is not an ordinary master of the runes. Your grandpa is a rank 5 runes master. He can evade the detection of the divine spirit. That person is not simple. If the people of the Black Tortoise sect come down as long as our rune guild intervenes, he will definitely come. Grandpa is still the best. Mu Ning thought of how that guy fell into her grandpa's scheme. She couldn't describe how happy she was. Who asked you to take advantage of me? You deserve it. Yawning. On the street, Lin Fei yawned. He looked around and thought, Who is cursing me? I don't seem to have done anything bad recently. Young master, it's all my fault. You should curse Qing Wan. Qing Wan lowered her head, like a child who did something wrong. Lin Fei was indeed very angry. Usually, he schemed against others or cheated others. Today, he fell into the hands of another old fox. Obviously, he was taken advantage of and extorted 100,000 taels of silver. If he had known earlier, he would have touched it and felt it. The price was really high. Lin Fei laughed. What nonsense are you thinking about? This has nothing to do with you. Your young master is not short of money. Boo-hoo! Young master, you are so good to me. Qing Wan pounced on him again. Lin Fei thought to himself, it's good to have a lowly. No wonder everyone likes having a lowly. His irritated mood suddenly became better. He no longer thought about the problem that he had been holding back. Anyway, he would not go to the Rune Guild in the future. That old fox was not easy to deal with. Today, young master will bring you to go shopping. Chapter 168. P.S. I'll make it up to you tomorrow. Guiyuan City was still in chaos. Our classmate Lin Fei was preparing to forge his first weapon. After being extorted from the Rune Guild, Lin Fei decided to turn his grief into motivation and forge his first weapon. Lin family's weapon workshop. The Lin family owned a mine and had a large amount of ores. Weapon making was an important source of income and took up a large portion of the Lin family's income. Forging weapons required black iron ores and ordinary iron ores. The weapons forged from them were all trash weapons suitable for mortals. When used by martial artists, they would be no different from playing house. No one believed that Third Young Master Lin was here to forge weapons. Third Young Master Lin knew how to forge weapons? Bullsh ***. If it was before, everyone would probably think that he was fooling around. Forging weapons was not something that could be done just by talking about it. It required professional talent to forge weapons. However, Third Young Master Lin was in the limelight in the Lin family. He single-handedly killed the 3 elders of the Li family and killed them on the street. No one dared to doubt Third Young Master Lin's combat ability anymore. Hearing that Third Young Master Lin was here to forge weapons, no one dared to say anything. Lin Fei came with the lowly Qing Wan. In his words, bringing the lowly Qing Wan was easy to attract attention and suited the style of a young master. Welcome, Third Young Master. Welcome, Third Young Master. When Lin Fei appeared at the door, the person in charge of the workshop hurried over to greet him. Let them disperse. Seeing that the people in charge were coming over, Lin Fei waved his hand. He was not here to visit. He was here to forge weapons. Zhang Lianming wiped the sweat on his head and turned around. Get back to work, all of you. This guy was a manager of the workshop and was a member of the Collateral family. He was tall and sturdy. If it was in the future, it would be a pity if he didn't play basketball with his height of 2 meters. Zhang Lianming's reputation was very high and his voice was like a loudspeaker. No one dared to approach him. Third Young Master, I've already arranged the place you want. Lead the way. The Lin family's workshop was huge. The sound of metal clanking could be heard continuously. A large amount of iron ore was piled up like a mountain. Hundreds of workers were hammering non-stop. This is a place to forge unrated weapons. This is the place where 100-tempered weapons are forged. This is the place where Qian Lian weapons are forged. The Lin family's workshop had several floors. It was like a pyramid. At the same time, it was built against a mountain. It was extraordinary. Good place. I don't have to find a place to forge weapons. Lin Fei was very satisfied with this place. Ever since returning from the Rune Guild, Lin Fei had immersed himself in learning new things. He was learning how to forge weapons. The matters of Guiyuan City were more or less settled. Lin Fei planned to leave and travel the world to broaden his horizons. In reality, Lin Fei wanted to experience the game world. The reason he forged the weapon was to conceal the baleful black saber, so that no one would be able to see through it. It just so happened that he had obtained a batch of ores from the Li family. He would use them to practice and refine a weapon so that he could keep a low profile. Do we have many hundred tempered weapons in our family? Lin Fei asked casually. Lin Lianming said, 100 tempered weapons are usually used in the game. They are either used as guards or in the army. Our Lin family can currently produce 1,000 tempered weapons a month. As for Qianlian weapons, we can produce around 100. Not bad. Lin Lianming almost fell down. 3,000 tempered weapons and 100,000 tempered weapons. In any workshop, they could only produce 1/3 of the total. However, after learning in the virtual space, third young Master Lin did not care about 100 tempered weapons at all. Young Master, our workshop is considered to be very good. Lin Lianming felt that he had to add on to avoid a bad impression. 3,000? You can only make 100 tempered weapons a day. Are you guys eating rice? Lin Fei suddenly raised his voice. In our Lin family, 500 tempered weapons a day is a must. Lin Lianming vomited 3 liters of blood. This is quite difficult. If it was an outsider, Lin Lianming would definitely argue. However, he did not have the confidence to do so in front of third young Master Lin. Lin Fei narrowed his eyes. Difficult? Bring me to see. Lin Lianming suddenly felt a chill on his body. His heart skipped a beat and cold sweat appeared on his back. Third young Master Lin's aura was too strong. Lin Lianming brought third young Master Lin to the nearest furnace. The blacksmith was forging 100 tempered weapon. 100 tempered weapon had to be hammered 1,000 times. The difficulty of 100 tempered weapon could be imagined. No. Seeing the blacksmith's method, Lin Fei could not help but shake his head. The method was wrong. Learning to forge in the virtual world, there were all kinds of forging methods. The forging method in front of him was completely wrong. No wonder the crafting ability was so bad. Let him go down, Lin Fei said again. The blacksmith in front was a middle-aged man. His upper body was naked, and his bronze skin was full of strength. Hearing this, he said unhappily, "Why do you want me to go down?" Lin Lianming was stunned. What was third young Master Lin thinking? This is third young Master Lin. Come down first. Lin Lianming quickly said. The blacksmith was very unwilling to come down. Lin Fei took off his coat and walked to the furnace. This forging method is too bad. I really don't know how your master taught you. Watch carefully how to forge 100 tempered weapon. What? Third young Master Lin wanted to forge 100 tempered weapon? Lin Lianming suspected that he had seen wrongly. Third young Master Lin also knew how to forge weapons? Without waiting for Lin Lianming to turn around, Lin Fei started waving his hammer. Ding ding dong dong sounds rang out in an orderly manner like a beautiful piece of music. Ding ding dong dong, ding ding dong dong, accompanied by the rhythmic sound. Many blacksmiths nearby noticed it. Because the sound was too pleasant, it was impossible not to pay attention. Gradually, more and more people gathered outside. Old Qi, look at this forging method. The surrounding crowd opened up a path. An old man walked in, and Lin Lianming went up to him. Old Qi was not old, in his 50s or 60s. He had a tall and sturdy body, a big beard and bright eyes. He was the most authoritative blacksmith in the Lin family's workshop. He was a level 4 blacksmith. No hurry. Old Qi waved his hand. Let's watch first. Lin Fei's body, which was not very muscular, went up and down with the hammer, forming a strange state. One up and one down, one up and one down. Ding dong, ding dong. Old Qi's expression gradually changed. He grabbed Lin Lianming's hand and said excitedly, "Tell me, who is he?" This is the long-lost 5 tones forging method. 5 tones forging method. Lin Lianming was a level 3 blacksmith. He had heard many stories. When he heard Old Chi's words, his heart could not help but thump. How could it be a forging method? Old Chi insisted. This old man has been blacksmithing for so many years and has eaten more salt than you. This is definitely the 5 tones forging method, a method to improve forging. As a level 4 blacksmith, Old Chi's lifelong regret was to learn a more profound forging method and forge the famous weapons in the continent. Lin Lianming was also shocked. He finally remembered that this was the 5 tones forging method. How could this be in the young master's hands? Half an hour later, whoosh, a long saber appeared in front of everyone. Top quality, 100 refinement saber. Old Chi snatched the 100 refined knife from Lin Fei's hands and started looking at it from top to bottom. Even Lin Fei himself was shocked. Could this guy be crazy? Young master, don't be angry. This is Old Chi, the only level 4 blacksmith in our workshop. Hearing Lin Lianming's words, Lin Fei was relieved. A technical nerd liked to talk about technical theories. It was Lin Fei's first time forging a weapon. He did not expect to forge a top-quality 100 refinement saber. The virtual world is indeed not a joke. Old Chi put down the saber and turned around. Little brother, is this the 5 tones forging method? Lin Fei was startled. You know about it? Old Chi touched it with sadness. This is a forging method that was lost in the past. I did not expect to see it. This old man wants to thank you. Lin Fei was speechless. He was suddenly given a good person card. The 5 tones forging method was the first forging method that Lin Fei learned. He thought that it was an ordinary method. He did not expect it to be a lost method. It seemed that he was too high profile again. Seeing the old man's eyes that seemed to want to eat him, Lin Fei felt that it was better to leave this place first. As he left, Old Chi rushed out. Little brother, I want to worship you as my teacher. Lin Fei was stunned again. Worship me as your teacher? An old man? In the end, of course, he did not succeed. The 5 tones forging method was a lost forging method. After cultivating it, it could increase forging efficiency. It was an ordinary method in the past, but now it was a lost method. For the Lin family, this method was very useful. Lin Fei thought about it. When the time came, he would give it to his father. If the Lin family workshop increased production, they could monopolize the weapon market. Young master, don't take what happened just now to heart. Old Chi is such a person. Lin Fei smiled. Don't worry, I won't hold grudges against the Lin family. As for the 5 tones forging method, I will pass it to the family head. When the time comes, I will have to trouble you to choose a batch of reliable disciples to cultivate. Lin Lianming was shocked and only came back to his senses after a while. Thank you, young master. As he walked in, he saw a guard. This was the place where normal weapons were forged. 100 refinement and 1,000 refinement weapons were targeted at the mass market. Normal weapons were targeted at families and belonged to the high-end market. Young master, this forging room is the best at the moment. We've already prepared all the materials you need. Lin Lianming did not dare to underestimate this third young master. Outsiders did not know how difficult forging was, but Lin Lianming was clear. There was no other person as sick as the young master. To casually forge a weapon and forge a top-grade 100 refinement blade, how evil. Lin Fei was satisfied. Bring Qingwan out. If there is nothing important, don't disturb me. I will arrange for people to guard outside. I promise that no one will disturb young master. At the same time, on an official road that led to Gui Yuan City, a group of black horses galloped past, raising a cloud of dust and causing people to curse behind them. Chapter 169. In the workshop of the Lin family. In the secret room, halfway up the mountain. Ding ding dang dang, ding dang dang, the noise was endless. At the foot of the mountain, the The person in charge, Lin Lianming, was accompanying an old man and looking at the secret room halfway up the mountain. Only blacksmiths were qualified to enter these secret rooms, and the requirement for blacksmithing was to be a first-level blacksmith. Blacksmiths were different from runes masters. Runes masters had to cultivate the power of their soul, and they needed to be at the same level to perform runes. On the other hand, blacksmiths didn't need much strength, but they needed forging methods. It was useless to rely purely on strength. At most, they could only forge 100 or 1,000 forging. To forge an ordinary weapon, one had to be proficient in the art of forging, which was a broad and profound course that required more theory and practice. "It's been 6 hours," Lin Lianming muttered to himself. Since the secret room was closed, Lin Lianming had been paying attention to it. After learning the 5 sounds forging method, Lin Lianming regarded third young Master Lin as someone on the same level. The one beside him was Old Qi, a 4th-level blacksmith. Judging from the sound, it should be in the embryonic stage. Old Qi said lightly, his eyes full of praise. Unfortunately, his third young Master Lin Lianming could understand the meaning behind it. What did this pity mean? Third young Master Lin has promised to hand over the 5 sounds forging method to the family head. Our Lin family workshop will soon have a batch of blacksmiths. Old Qi nodded. I will find a batch of qualified apprentices. They will be the future of the Lin family. At first sight of this young man, Old Qi had the intention to accept him as a disciple. Every move of this young man was an excellent blacksmith. If he was carefully trained, it wouldn't be a problem for him to become a 4th-level blacksmith in the future. Unfortunately, the other party was third young Master Lin. In the secret room, the underground fire vein was guided here. Lin Fei couldn't help but praise this place. In the past, he didn't know that the Lin family workshop had always been here. Today, he finally understood that there was an underground fire vein below. The underground fire vein was the best place for forging. It could remove the impurities in the ores, leaving the purest existence and forging the best weapons. Ding ding dang dang, ding ding dang dang. The iron block in front of Lin Fei was constantly changing forms. It was a piece of top-grade black ironstone that he had obtained from the Li family. It's about to take shape. What shape do you want it to take? Lin Fei knocked on the iron embryo. I use a saber. How about a domineering one? After learning in the virtual world, Lin Fei had a deep understanding of forging. Currently, Lin Fei was learning how to forge ordinary weapons. The virtual world was divided into levels. The ores that he had forged today could be combined to create a mortal weapon. As for its grade, it would probably be a high-grade mortal weapon, somewhere between a top-grade mortal weapon. If it was his first time forging, no one would believe it if he made it to such a high grade. Lin Fei had the forging system in his hands. The purity of the ores was above 50. The higher the purity, the greater the chance of forging a good weapon. High grade and supreme grade were the most common. Right now, Lin Fei was conflicted about what form he should create. Got it. Lin Fei was previously a gaming otaku. He liked to read wuxia novels the most and had a special fondness for wuxia novels. One by one, Jianghu weapons appeared in his mind. Dragon Salyer. Who could compete with the Heaven Sword and Dragon Saber? Lin Fei had always had a special fondness for the door-like Dragon Salyer. The iron embryo that was being forged had a very large area, which was just right for forging Dragon Salyer. After making up his mind, Lin Fei started hammering on the table. Under the iron hammer, the shape of the iron embryo kept changing, vaguely revealing the wide appearance of the Dragon Salyer. Lin Fei used the saber the most, and his saber techniques were also the sharpest. Imagine using a large plank saber. When fighting, it would give off a strong impression, but when the opponents saw it, they would probably lose half of their fighting spirit before the fight even started. An hour later, Lin Fei wiped the sweat off his head, and the outline of the dragon Salyer appeared. At this point, Lin Fei stopped. The ordinary weapons of the Xiantian continent are not really ordinary weapons. Fortunately, I became a runes master. Otherwise, I would have wasted so many good ores. Lin Fei chuckled. He took out a series of props from the runes bag. Ordinary weapons were not considered high level just by virtue of their sharpness. Only by fusing with the runes' formation would they be considered true ordinary weapons. What Lin Fei needed to do was to integrate into the runes. Gravity runes, stun runes, sharp runes. Lin Fei held the runes, pen, and drew. Those who didn't know would think that he was drawing, but they didn't know that he was integrating into the runes. If he hadn't opened the forging system, Lin Fei wouldn't have known that there was such a thing in the ordinary weapons. Gravity formation. With his innate divine strength, Lin Fei was a must. Stun runes was nothing more than making people unable to fight with their full strength. It could be considered a despicable move, but Lin Fei liked it this way. Sharpness was one of the most basic skills in forging. The sharpness of ordinary weapons was especially important. Adding it, the sharpness would surpass that of similar weapons. Lin Fei felt that 3 types of runes was enough. In reality, 3 types of runes were the limit of ordinary weapons, unless it was an earth-level weapon. This was too far away, so there was no need to think about it for now. Only by fusing 3 types of runes can this be considered a true ordinary weapon. Lin Fei was pleased with himself. Another 2 hours later. Open! Lin Fei's expression was serious. The power of his soul rushed into the dragon Salyer, activating the runes inside. This step was the most important. Once the communication was completed, it would be equivalent to completing the ordinary weapon. For the first time, Lin Fei was not confident. A white light flashed, leaving a gentle white light on the dragon Salyer's body, all the way until it entered the blade. After being pulled by a force, Lin Fei felt that a lot of his soul power had disappeared. His entire body was powerless, and his entire body fell forward. Only with great difficulty did he stabilize himself. Damn it! Opening 3 runes consumes 50% of my soul power. How scary! Just now, when the soul power was activated, the runes produced a suction force. If it wasn't for the fact that he took the initiative to give up after 50%, the soul power would have been mostly consumed. If that was really the case, it would be extremely miserable. He took out a pill and consumed it. He was no longer dizzy. Only then did he realize the importance of soul power. After the dragon Salyer lost its white light, a black luster flashed under the light, faintly revealing its sharpness. This was the benefit of the sharpness technique. With just a glance, Lin Fei knew that it was a good item. High-rank mortal weapon. After throwing out the system's investigation, it indicated that it was a high-rank mortal weapon. Ever since the system came with the system's investigation, Lin Fei could check all kinds of attributes such as ores or the high-rank mortal weapon dragon Salyer in his hands. Unfortunately, it's not a top-grade mortal weapon. Lin Fei shook his head, feeling a little regretful. Then, his gaze landed on the dragon Salyer. At first glance, the dragon Salyer that had fused with the runes looked very eye-catching. If the Black Fiend blade was considered low-key, then the dragon Salyer was considered to be the eye-catching type. Lin Fei didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He originally wanted to keep a low profile, but the dragon Salyer's appearance was too eye-catching. He reached out his hand and grabbed. With his innate divine strength, the dragon Salyer landed in his hand. 1,000 kilograms of weight. Gravity runes used beginner-level gravity runes, weighing 1,000 kilograms. Barely it could be considered passable. After getting used to the weight of the Black Fiend blade, the dragon Salyer's weight had decreased by quite a bit. Whoosh, whoosh! With a backhand swing, the dragon Salyer chopped down on a whetstone. The whetstone was split into 2, and the middle was like a mirror, smooth and flat. After adding the sharp runes, it is indeed exceptionally sharp. Lin Fei swiped his finger on the blade, and the heavenly dragon tiger's protection was vaguely torn open. He couldn't help but be startled. Damn, even this is possible! The heavenly dragon tiger's protection was slightly cut, revealing a hole. Lin Fei was quite satisfied. Lin Fei did not try the stun effect, but the effect should not be too bad. Why isn't young master out yet? As a lowly, Qing Wan was anxious. 8 hours had passed, which was equivalent to a day. Just as Lin Lianming and the others were about to come over to take a look, the door to the secret room opened, and Lin Fei walked out with a blade in his hand. The black scabbard had a cold luster to it. Young master, you're finally out. The blue wand pounced forward. Lin Fei laughed. Nothing will happen to young master. There's no need to worry so much. Young master, is this your saber? Qing Wan wanted to take it over to take a look, but Lin Fei stopped her. It weighed 1,000 kilograms. Wouldn't it crush someone to death? Congratulations, young master. Lin Lianming came up, and his gaze landed on the blade. The scabbard on the outside was very ordinary, much larger than a normal scabbard. He wondered what it would look like inside. I'm done. I need to go back first. Lin Fei looked at the two of them and understood what they wanted to do. They wanted to see his weapon. Lin Lianming and the others did have this thought. To be able to casually forge a top-grade 100 refinement blade and stay in the secret room for 8 to 8 hours. This blade would definitely be a mortal weapon, a low-grade mortal weapon. This old man would like to take the liberty of seeing young master's blade. Old Qi took the initiative to suggest it. If an ordinary person heard Old Qi's words, they would definitely be elated. After all, Old Qi was a 4-strike blacksmith, and his words were invaluable. In the future, he could not casually pretend to be awesome. Lin Fei threw it down, and the dragon blade stabbed into the ground. With a kacha sound, the bluestone on the ground cracked. There were countless cracks. The two of them were shocked. This blade was so heavy. With a casual throw, even the bluestone couldn't stop it. They couldn't do it so easily. When Old Qi pulled out the blade, a cold light flashed and shone on his face. He almost couldn't hold it firmly. Fortunately, Old Qi's strength was not bad, and he could barely hold it with both hands. The two of them revealed expressions of disbelief. Young master's strength? Previously, it looked very easy, but in reality, this blade was so heavy that ordinary people couldn't even lift it, let alone use it in battle. Abnormal. The two of them had the same thought. It's as bright as light and as heavy as a rock. It's truly a good blade. Old Qi gasped for breath. A middle-ranked mortal weapon. Young master is truly powerful. Lin Lianming also congratulated him. Congratulations, young master, for forging a middle-ranked mortal weapon on your first try. Lin Fei was startled and thought, this is clearly a high-ranked mortal weapon. Why is it a middle-ranked mortal weapon in their eyes? Middle-ranked mortal weapon? Lin Fei asked probingly. Old Qi raised his head. Young master, a middle-ranked mortal weapon is already not bad. A high-ranked mortal weapon must be embedded with runes formation. Your blade is so heavy, it should have added some black iron, right? Chapter 170. Young master, why did you laugh just now? On the way back, the little lowly Qing Wan could not help but ask. Young master wants to laugh, can't I? Lin Fei shamelessly gave a reason. In fact, the laughter just now was directed at the dragon salyer. Originally, in their eyes, his high-grade mortal weapon had actually become a mid-grade mortal weapon. Only then did he realize that he had overlooked something. It was not easy to fuse a mortal weapon with runes, and it was not as easy as he had imagined. Lin Fei had almost exhausted all of his divine soul's energy, so one could imagine the difficulty. It could be said that, in everyone's eyes, mortal weapons were basically forged from materials. As for runes, they did not know about them. They belonged to a type of forging technique that had disappeared. Therefore, they treated the high, ranked mortal weapon S as middle ranked mortal weapon S. Actually, it wasn't a big deal, it was a very normal thing. Lin Fei was originally worried that he would be too high profile, but in the end he became very low-key. Now that the high-grade mortal weapon had become a mid-grade mortal weapon, Lin Fei heaved a long sigh of relief and put down a stone. There were very few high-grade mortal weapons, and other than the Patriarch and the others, there were very few high-grade mortal weapons. Middle-grade mortal weapons were different, and even though they were expensive, they could still afford to buy them. It was not too difficult, but high-grade mortal weapons were very difficult. Lin Fei's blade was a mid-grade mortal weapon, so outsiders were not surprised. At most, they would be surprised, and the scabbard on the outside was made of ordinary black iron. Unless Lin Fei pulled it out, outsiders would not be able to see through it. When he returned from outside, he had just arrived at the main entrance. "Young master, you're finally back. If you didn't come back, we would have gone to find young master." Just as Lin Fei arrived at the door, a servant ran up hurriedly. "Father is looking for me?" Lin Fei asked. "Do you know what it is?" The servant said, "The Patriarch told me to wait for young master at the door. Once young master returns, I will immediately go to the guest room. I heard that someone from young master's sect has come." Lin Fei frowned and thought, "Someone from the sect? Why would they come to find me? Could it be that something happened to the sect?" Jumping off the horse, Lin Fei handed the horse to the servant. "Qingwan, go back first. Young master will be back soon." With that he strode in. Outside the reception room, Lin Fei was outside and couldn't hear anything. He couldn't help but feel a little surprised. Father wasn't inside. He straightened his clothes and strode toward the reception room. "Father, you were looking for me?" Walking in from the outside, Lin Fei saw a young man who was a few years older than him and had the strength of the eighth heaven of the martial path. He couldn't help but be curious, as he didn't seem to know this person. "Child, why did you only come back now?" Lin Jintian stood up. "This is your junior apprentice brother. If there's anything, you can discuss it slowly." Lin Jintian would not interfere in the matters of the sect, so he took the initiative to step aside. In the reception room, only Lin Fei and a stranger were left. "Junior brother Wang, Fei greets senior brother Lin Fei." Wang Fei took the initiative to stand up and took out a token. It was the divine martial sect's proof. Lin Fei smiled. "So, it's junior brother Wang. I had something to do outside just now. Sorry to keep you waiting." As for the disciple from the divine martial sect, Lin Fei was very surprised. He didn't know what happened. Wang Fei let out a long sigh of relief. This senior brother Lin Fei wasn't as unreasonable as the rumor said. He had a good temper. The next second he was shocked. Didn't senior brother Zhang say that Lin Fei is only at the seventh heaven of the martial path? Why can't I see through his strength now? Could he have entered the ninth heaven of the martial path? Lin Fei sat down. Immediately, a maid brought a cup of tea, and he took a sip. "Senior brother Lin Fei, I'm here to deliver a letter for senior brother Zhang." Lin Fei frowned. "You're talking about senior brother Zhang, senior brother Zhang Wudi?" "Yes, senior brother Zhang Wudi." Wang Fei carefully took out a letter and handed it to Lin Fei. Lin Fei was curious. Didn't Zhang Wudi go home? Why would he send a letter to me? Did something happen? Lin Fei had a good impression of Zhang Wudi. At least, this senior brother was ambitious. He was dedicated to martial arts, unlike other disciples. Lin Fei took the letter and found that it was intact. There shouldn't be any problem. After reading the letter from beginning to end, Lin Fei finally understood what was going on. Zhang Wudi had received a mission from the sect to protect a few people in Shanhe County. As for the background of those people, the higher-ups didn't explain in detail. Due to the strong enemies, Zhang Wudi thought of Lin Fei and invited Lin Fei to help. He could earn sect contribution points, and the higher-ups agreed. Senior brother Zhang only invited me? Lin Fei asked Wang Fei. Wang Fei shook his head. Due to the importance of this mission, Zhang Wudi invited a few fellow disciples. If they complete this mission and return to the sect, everyone will get inner sect contribution points. Oh, so that's how it is. Lin Fei nodded his head. He finally understood what was going on. After a certain amount of sect contribution points, one could exchange them for various Xian skills. This time, Zhang Wudi accepted this mission because he was in danger. That's why he invited Lin Fei to be his helper. This was a good idea. Plus, it was in Shanhe County, so he could get rid of the Li family. The matters in Guiyuan City were more or less settled. The Lin family had secretly gained an early-stage profound practitioner, so there shouldn't be too much of a problem. Senior brother Zhang, did you mention when I should go? If it wasn't for the Black Tortoise Gate incident, Lin Fei could leave any time he wanted. But now was not the time. He had to settle the Black Tortoise Gate incident first. It's best if I leave within 4 to 5 days. Lin Fei calculated. If the Black Tortoise Gate didn't appear in 4 to 5 days, there shouldn't be any problems. Junior brother Wang, you've come all the way here. You should stay here for a few days. Lin Fei smiled. I'll leave with junior brother once I'm done with my business. Wang Fei didn't stand on ceremony. This disciple who emerged victorious in the outer disciple competition was worth fawning over. Thank you, senior brother. Lin Fei clapped his hands, and a maid immediately came in. Bring this guest to rest. After Wang Fei left, Lin Jintian came in. You're leaving. Lin Fei nodded. I'm going to Shanhe County for a sect mission. Lin Jintian wanted his son to stay for a few more days, but he didn't expect this to happen. Shanhe County is vast. Be careful on your way. Come to my courtyard tonight. After entertaining Wang Fei at night, Lin Fei came to his father's courtyard and saw his father standing under a tree. Father! Lin Jintian turned around. Back then, you were immature and didn't like to practice martial arts. That's why I didn't teach you the secret arts of the Lin family. Today, I'm happy for you. Today, I'll teach you the secret art of the Lin family, the Azure Dragon Divine Incantation. Back then, Lin Fei had seen this secret art. When his father used it, its might was extraordinary. His father could suppress Zhang Weiyue with only 50% of his battle prowess. This showed how extraordinary his battle prowess was. The Azure Dragon Divine Incantation is the main attack. It's called the Azure Dragon Capturing Technique. After reaching great perfection, I can capture anyone within 100 feet. Lin Jintian said, aside from that, the Azure Dragon Divine Incantation has 6 offensive techniques. Father only learned the Azure Dragon Capturing Technique. As for defense, there's the Azure Dragon True Body, the defense of the dragon race. Lin Fei was startled. He understood the meaning behind his father's words. Father, could it be that you haven't learned the entire Azure Dragon Divine Incantation? The might of the Azure Dragon Capturing Technique was extraordinary. However, when Xiao Chun heard that his father only knew this move, it was indeed very strange, especially that Azure Dragon True Body. Its defense should be very strong. The dragon race was known for their defense. If a human could use the Azure Dragon True Body, it should not be too weak. A trace of disappointment flashed in Lin Jintian's eyes. Haha, you are very smart. If you were the Xiao San from back then, father would not let you know, because you are not qualified. Lin Fei's heart skipped a beat. The previous Lin Fei seemed to be too useless. Could it be that this Azure Dragon Divine Incantation does not belong to our Lin family? Lin Fei asked probingly. Lin Jintian laughed. That's not the case. The Azure Dragon Divine Incantation is the secret art of our Lin family. Father only inherited a branch of it. Lin Fei finally understood. Could it be that our Lin family has a large clan? The might of the Azure Dragon capturing technique was extraordinary. It belonged to the superior grade yellow, ranked mysterious art. That was how the Azure Dragon capturing technique stabilized the position of the Lin family. So the Lin family was only a branch. Lin Fei suddenly thought of a plot from a novel. Could it be that our Lin family was also a branch that was abandoned by the Lin family? Our ancestors were a part of the Lin family. Your grandfather was a genius disciple. Later on, he was framed for the position of the patriarch and was chased out of the Lin family. Later on, he settled down in the Shanhe County and became the current Lin family. As expected, Lin Fei was speechless, a position of patriarch. It seemed like the Lin family was a huge clan in the past. Lin Jintian seemed to know what Lin Fei was thinking. Father said this not to let you step into the Lin family, but to let you know the origin of the Lin family. The matters of the past have already disappeared. Father no longer cares about it. Lin Fei was slightly startled. He seemed to be embarrassed. Father, could it be that you don't want the Lin family to rejoin the Lin family? Hee, Father likes the life I have now, Lin Jintian said. The struggle between the big clans is very serious. Our Lin family has a genius disciple like you. In the future, our Lin family will definitely become a big clan. A mere Lin family, Father really doesn't fancy it. Wow, what a big heart. Lin Fei really couldn't see through his father. Previously, his father had a calm mind. Now, it seemed like his father's dream was very big. It sounded very reasonable. With the leveling system, it seemed like becoming an expert was not a problem. Then, the clan would naturally become a big clan. All in all, his father's words were very reasonable. No matter how strong the Lin family was, they might not be able to win against him. Lin Fei, it seems like you have another mission. Lin Fei was a little more interested in the Lin family that his father spoke of. If he had the time, he would go and take a look. Just like what his father said, he had no interest in the Lin family. In a place like the Lin family, the rules were even stricter. With his personality, he wouldn't be able to sit still. He would definitely cause some trouble. Chapter 171. That night, Lin Fei had been learning the Lin family's unique skill, green dragon capture. Although this was only one of the moves, it was not easy to cultivate an upper-grade yellow-level mystical skill. If not for Lin Fei's recent good performance, he might not be able to learn this unique skill for the rest of his life. Lin Jintian's father, of course, wanted to pass down the unique skill. Otherwise, he would not have taught it to Lin Fei in the middle of the night, and the unique skill would have been passed down. As for Lin Fei, although this unique skill was powerful, he did not care much about it. He had learned a few combat skills and used them with amazing power. Therefore, he did not care much about the green dragon capture. Unexpectedly, after learning for a while, Lin Fei liked this attack. The green dragon capture required profound Xian Qi to be used, and its power would naturally increase. This was a long-range attack palm technique. Lin Fei did not know many palm techniques, but he knew fist techniques. Currently, he only had the 8 Desolation fist technique. Lin Fei was very happy to have an additional palm technique. Long-range attacks were very suitable for him. The next morning, Lin Fei woke up early and continued to practice this palm technique. Striving for practice makes perfect. This was also the reason why the system could not help him. Otherwise, he would not have to practice so hard. Fortunately, this unique skill was not too difficult to comprehend now. In one night, he used it and reached about 60 to 70% of it. Green dragon capture. 100 feet away, a large blue hand appeared out of thin air. It was as if there was a trace of a dragon's aura. The palm slammed down, creating a loud rumbling sound. The stone table and chairs were instantly turned to dust, no longer existing. It is indeed powerful. As expected of an upper-grade, yellow-level unique skill, the 30% of power that Lin Fei had used just now shattered the blue stone on the ground. Black cracks spread out, and it was very frightening. If it weren't for the prior instructions, the people outside would have already come in. 30% of my strength is already so powerful. If it's less than 100%, then wouldn't I be able to kill it with a single slap? Lin Fei thought. It doesn't consume much profound qi either. It can be called a unique skill. Xiao Chen had learned from his father that when he mastered the azure dragon capturing technique to great perfection, he would turn into an azure dragon. His might would increase by several dozen times. That would be the true attack of an azure dragon. Right now, the attack that Lin Fei made was merely an afterimage. It was not the azure dragon capturing technique at all. Its might was only 1%. His father's azure dragon capturing grasp was able to recognize both body and spirit, and its might was extraordinary. He was indeed worthy of being the #1 expert in Guiyuan City, suppressing both the Li and Zhang families. Outside Guiyuan City, dong dong dong, an earthquake-like sound came from afar. There were many horses and demonic beast mounts on the official road leading to the city gates. They started to get agitated, making people wonder what was going on. When a few figures appeared on the official road, the horses and demonic beasts all crouched on the ground and shivered, as if they had encountered some terrifying existences. No matter how hard those people kicked the horses and demonic beasts, it was of no use. Heavens, isn't that the Class 7 Black Flame horse? Demonic beast pressure. It must be the demonic beast pressure. Who are they? They are all Class 7 demonic beasts. Why would they appear in our Guiyuan City? Could it be that something big is going to happen in Guiyuan City? Everyone looked at the few strangers that appeared. They were all dressed in black and wore a bamboo hat on their heads, making it impossible to see their faces. They were emitting a murderous aura without any intention of concealing it. Hee, so this is Guiyuan City. It's too backward. The Li family can only be a local tyrant in this place. They are indeed useless. No wonder they were eliminated. They are simply a disgrace to the Black Tortoise Gate. Wang Kai, who was on the left, sneered. Who cares where the Li family settled down? Let's complete the mission first, lest the people above say that we are incompetent. A guy with a big head said with a trace of killing intent in his eyes. Big Brother Wu, what do you think we should do? Should we kill our way over, or what? Sitting at the front was a middle-aged man with thick eyebrows and big eyes. He had a solemn expression on his face. He was the Big Brother Wu they were talking about, the leader of this mission. Hee, it seems like we're making a big fuss over a small matter to eliminate the Lin family. If it wasn't for the Black Tortoise Gate helping us a lot, we wouldn't have to go through so much trouble, causing us to eat dust along the way. Wu Shixiang said, coldly, it's just a mere Lin family. Let's eliminate their patriarch, kill a few elders, and leave the rest to Li Yin. If we still can't succeed, then the Li family will have to continue its legacy. Big Brother Wu is right. This time, the Lin family is really lucky. The Lin family is right in front. Soon, they arrived at the entrance of the Lin family. The appearance of all Class 7 demonic beasts in front of the Lin family immediately attracted the attention of many people. It was impossible not to attract attention, especially since these people were emitting a murderous aura. They were obviously not people to be trifled with. Wang Kai, go and challenge them. Wang Kai was a young man, and his strength had reached the 9th level of the martial path. His talent was pretty good, and it was indeed a waste of his talent to deal with a small Lin family. Xiao. Without any hesitation, a black bow appeared in Wang Kai's hand, and he shot out 8 arrows in a single breath. Rumble! Before the guards at the entrance could even react, their bodies had already exploded. A loud rumbling sound came from the entrance, and the entire gate collapsed, turning into ruins in the blink of an eye. 8 arrows killed all the guards, and the gate was in ruins. Here comes the trouble. The people who were watching the show unknowingly retreated. They couldn't imagine what kind of enemy they had provoked to the point of killing the guards in front of everyone and destroying the gate of the Lin family. If the Lin family didn't retaliate, they would never be able to raise their heads again. Many of them were just watching the show. Didn't the Li family exterminate the Lin family? Now, someone came to the door. It turned out that the Lin family also had such a day. They couldn't help but gloat. Ever since the Li family was exterminated, the Zhang family closed their doors. In Guiyuan City, the Lin family was not in the limelight for a while. No one dared to offend the Lin family for fear of being exterminated. Now that someone came to cause trouble for the Lin family, they liked to see it the most. Not bad, the soul-chasing arrow is about to reach the great success stage. When it reaches the great success stage, even the 9th level won't be able to block 3 of your arrows. Wu Shixiang showed approval in his eyes. Wang Kai was proud. Just a mere Lin family, no matter how many soul-chasing arrows there are, they will all die. There's no need for Big Brother to do anything. This little brother can exterminate them. They didn't belong to the Xuanwu sect, but they had a close relationship with the Xuanwu sect. They were from the same gang, and they didn't violate the sect's agreement. Bringing 4 experts at the 9th level of the martial path and 1 at the middle stage of the profound realm was indeed like using an anti-aircraft cannon to kill mosquitoes. If they could complete this matter, their days in the gang would be much better. There was a commotion at the gate, and countless members of the Lin family immediately rushed out. Kill! Kill! Wang Kai drew his bow again, and the soul-chasing arrows transformed into streaks of light that pierced through the air. He didn't hold back at all. The Lin clan's guards were either shot in the head or in the body. Wang Kai's brutal methods caused everyone to feel as if they had been viciously slapped. These people were too savage. They were the ones who were really here to cause trouble, and from the looks of it, they clearly didn't care about the Lin family. Inform the Patriarch, there's a strong enemy invading. The people behind hurriedly arranged for people to inform the Patriarch. At the same time, Lin Fei was practicing the Azure Dragon Great Capture in the courtyard. Suddenly, someone ran in from outside. It was the maid, Qingwan. Young master, it's not good. There are people outside killing their way to the door. The Green Wan was obviously quite frightened. Her face was filled with panic, and her face was somewhat pale. Lin Fei was startled. He supported the Green Wan, wanting to use the profound qi to recuperate the Green Wan's body. But in the end, there was a small accident. The profound qi was actually frozen by a ball of cold yin qi. Strange. Why would there be cold energy in the Green Wan's body? Another energy fluctuation came from outside, but Lin Fei didn't have the mood to think about it. Stay here obediently. Don't come out. Grabbing the dragon Salyer behind him, Lin Fei ran as if he was flying, rushing to the door. He wanted to see who dared to cause trouble in the Lin family, especially at this time. On the way, he met Wang Fei. Senior brother, someone's here to cause trouble. Lin Fei nodded his head. I don't know who it is, but it seems like he has some ability. However, it's fine, junior brother, rest well. When senior brother returns, we can drink together. Wang Fei still followed him and took out something from his pocket. Senior brother, this is the inner disciple token that the sect specially placed down. If any sect dares to make a move, it can deter them. Lin Fei was startled, but he accepted it. Thank you very much. The entrance of the Lin family had long since been turned into ruins. Corpse qi was scattered all over the ruins, filling the air with a strong smell of blood. Within 100 meters, almost no one dared to appear. No one knew who these people were or why they wanted to attack the Lin family, but they knew that these people were very powerful. Almost no one could block an arrow from just about an arrow. Several of the Lin family's experts at the 7th and 8th stage of the martial Dao had died under the other party's arrows. Big brother, do you think they'll be afraid? Wang Kai turned around and smiled. It's best if they're afraid. If they really don't come out, then let's go in together and kill them all. A one-eyed old man said sinisterly, One-eyed man, you only know how to kill and kill all day. Don't forget this mission. Got it. Isn't it just killing a few people? What's so troublesome about it? Wu Shixiang said. Everyone get ready. If the Lin family's patriarch doesn't come out, we will personally kill our way in. A small Lin family can be destroyed in an instant. Lin Fei's pace was fast, but before he reached the entrance, he saw the collapsed ruins and his face sank. Third young master, you're finally here. Far away from the entrance, a group of disciples who were guarding had pale faces. Although they hadn't arrived yet, Lin Fei could feel the tyrannical power. There were several of them, not just one. Who are they? Their strength is so tyrannical. If his father was here, Lin Fei wouldn't have a problem. But his father took the elixir last night and wouldn't come out so quickly. Wu Wenteng was guarding in the dark, just in case. In this way, the Lin family strength was empty, and he seemed to have become the strongest expert. Swish, swish. Chapter 172. Damn, what a sharp archery skill. Lin Fei frowned. Who were these people? They were so fierce and wanted to kill him. Could it be the Li family? The Li family appeared in his mind. It seemed that no one dared to attack the Lin family except for them. He had just come out, and they immediately attacked him. The target was too obvious, and it was impossible for them to attack at will. 3 sharp arrows flew over in a triangular formation. At this time, if Lin Fei dodged, then the people behind him would definitely suffer. This attack was powerful, forcing Lin Fei to fight. Young master, danger! A group of guards wanted to block in front of him. Back off! Lin Fei shouted and took a step out, instantly pulling a distance of a few feet, blocking in front of the crowd. Kill! If it was before, facing these 3 attacks, Lin Fei definitely wouldn't be able to dodge. From the opponent's attack, he knew that except for himself, anyone would die without a doubt. This was an attack of the 9th heaven of the martial path, and the archery skill was a middle-grade, yellow-rank archery skill. Its lethality was amazing, and anyone could be killed in one shot. Such a long-range attack was indeed very powerful. Anyone who was locked on would definitely be in danger. Lin Fei took a step out and raised his hand to shoot 3 saber lights, bringing along a long saber light. The momentum was no weaker than the opponent's. Let's see if your archery is better or my saber light is better. After advancing to the 9th heaven of the martial path, his xianqi was more than several times stronger than before. The saber light reached a distance of 10 feet, and if he used combat skills, it would be even longer. Rumble. The 3 soul-chasing arrows were fast, but at the same time, Lin Fei's saber light was faster. The space seemed to explode at this moment, and a powerful wave of air blew in all directions like the wind. Xiu, xiu, xiu. The people on the other side did not stop. It was clear that they wanted to kill Lin Fei in front of everyone. Let's see how many arrows you can block. Wang Kai kept shooting. The soul-chasing arrows locked on the opponent. From the beginning, he recognized the identity of this person. It was said that this person led the team to kill the 3 9th heaven experts of the Li family. Therefore, Wang Kai wanted to kill him in front of everyone. A mere kid who had just advanced to the 9th celestial layer would definitely die under his hands. Third brother, let me help you. Lin Xiao shouted. Lin Fei stopped them. Go back. This person is not someone you can deal with. The person in front of them was skilled in archery. Lin Fei could use his movement techniques to avoid the arrows, but if his big brother came up, he might die on the spot in the face of such dangerous archery. That was why he hurriedly tried to stop them. Lin Xiao wasn't a person who liked to show off. When he saw the arrow flying towards him again, his heart tightened. Third brother, be careful. As the big brother, he didn't know how strong his third brother was. However, there was one thing that he understood. If he were to go up, he would only be a hindrance. He might even implicate his third brother. The gate had been reduced to ruins. Even though the 2 sides were separated by the ruins, they could still feel the strong, murderous aura from the gate. What a powerful archery skill. This person's ranged attacks are very powerful. Fortunately, I have the flowing wind movement technique. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to deal with him. Lin Fei was clear in his heart that he had to deal with this long-range archer first. Now he was even more certain that these people were sent by the Li family. If not, they were from the Black Tortoise sect. However, the strong, murderous aura coming from them indicated that they weren't from the Black Tortoise sect. Lin Fei wasn't in the mood to deal with this. Facing such a powerful archer, he didn't dare to lower his guard. Pretty gutsy. You still dare to come over? You must be tired of living. Wang Kai's archery skills had been improving ever since he started practicing archery. Almost everyone under the 9th layer could block 3 of his arrows. He had also killed many 9th layer experts. More than 10 arrows were shot out, but the other party dodged all of them. Wang Kai couldn't help but feel surprised. He didn't think that the other party was a threat. If the other party didn't come over, Wang Kai wouldn't have much of a chance. Once the other party got within range, it would be hard for him not to die. Wang Kai pulled out another 3 arrows. In one breath, he shot out 3 arrows at the same time. Once again, his eyes turned cold. He pulled the bowstring, and with a ding-dang sound, an invisible arrow was shot out. Invisible arrow. This Lin fellow is dead for sure. The one-eyed man was obviously very familiar with this scene. He laughed sinisterly. What a pity. If this old man were to make a move and kill him, it would have been more exciting. The rest of them were confident in Wang Kai's archery skills. Elementary combat technique, invisible arrow. If one didn't know the other party's background, he would definitely die when facing Wang Kai's archery skills. No one would be able to block this arrow. Wang Kai revealed a smile. It's your fortune to be able to die under my invisible arrow. Wang Kai rarely used this move. Initially, he wanted to use the soul-chasing arrow to kill the other party. Who knew that the other party was strong enough to break through the soul-chasing arrow? Drifting wind movement art was executed. Lin Fei was like a bird flying through the forest. Facing the 3 arrows, he couldn't help but sneer. With a wave of his hand, 3 rays of light shot out and slashed at the soul-chasing arrow. The distance between them shortened. Xiao! The 3 rays of light broke through the arrow. Lin Fei suddenly felt an indescribable sense of danger. Boom! Lin Fei's entire body was like a kite with a broken string, crashing into the nearby buildings with a loud rumble. Third brother. No one had expected that Lin Fei would be so inexplicably injured and defeated so quickly. Don't come over. Lin Xiao was shocked. Just as he was about to rush over, he heard Lin Fei's voice. He heaved a sigh of relief. He's not dead. Wang Kai was surprised. The other party didn't die under the invisible arrow. Kill! 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 Wang Kai didn't believe that the other party could dodge the invisible arrow. Even if he didn't die, he would be heavily injured. Xiao xiao xiao! In the rubble, Lin Fei slammed his palm on the ground and dashed out once more. It's all thanks to the astral energy and diamond protection. Otherwise, I would have been heavily injured even if I didn't die. This was the first time Lin Fei suffered a loss at the other party's hands. If not for the double protection, he would have been embarrassed today. He did not dare to underestimate the other party. This was only the first. What about the other 4? Lin Fei was very clear that he had to buy time for his father. Once he refined the medicinal pill, he would be able to turn the situation around. Time. I need time. So. Lin Fei soared into the air and executed flowing wind movement technique. However, he did not use the wind wings. Danger! Danger! After experiencing it once, Lin Fei did not dare to underestimate the 3 arrows. The saber light turned into beams of white light and flew out. Instantly, a dazzling white light blocked everyone's vision. Brat, you want to hide from me? Dream on. Wang Kai slammed his palm on the ground and soared into the sky. He looked down from above and drew his bow, wanting to kill the other party. Unexpectedly, the person behind the white light seemed to vanish. Wang Kai lost his target. How can this be? Where did he go? Wang Kai was distracted. Instantly, a beam of white light shot out. He drew his bow and fired 3 spirit-seeking arrows. You fell for it. A cold sneer suddenly appeared behind Wang Kai. Why are you behind me? The saber light behind Wang Kai slashed down like a long saber. Wang Kai's body was split into 2, and he fell from the sky. When he landed on the street, blood splattered everywhere. Little Kai! Wu Shixiang and the rest were stunned. They were enraged. They did not expect Wang Kai to die in the hands of someone like this. They finally understood. Under the dense white light, the brat surnamed Lin was able to deceive their eyes with his speed. Then he took advantage of Wang Kai's mistake to kill him. What a good move. When the spectators saw 3rd young Master Lin being sent flying, they thought that the Lin family was doomed. However, after a few rounds, Lin Fei killed the powerful archer. It was a slap to their faces. Another expert in the 9th heaven of the martial path. Lin Fei landed on the ruins. Apart from his clothes being a little messy, he did not seem to be injured. Who are you? Who sent you here? How dare you make a move against an inner disciple of the divine martial sect? Lin Fei berated loudly, directly putting a big label on them. He was surprised that this powerful archer had 8,000 sin points. If an archer had 8,000 sin points, then what about the rest of them? He then checked the sin point system and was shocked. Someone in front of him had 20,000 sin points. His sin value was only 13,000, and this person's sin value was 20,000. Lin Fei immediately took out a big hat and threw it at him. If these people were to attack him together, it would not be a good thing. So he had to stabilize the other party first. I will kill you. The one-eyed man sneered and was about to attack. Unexpectedly, Wu Shixiang blocked his attack. He frowned and felt fear. Inner disciple of the divine martial sect. These words were like a sharp sword hanging above his head. They were doing well in the Shanhe County. If they attacked an inner disciple of the divine martial sect, it would be a big crime. Once the divine martial sect knew about it, they would definitely send their inner disciples to kill them. Even the higher-ups of the gangs might not be able to protect them. Wu Shixiang had a belly full of anger. He wished he could go back and slap Li Yin to death. If he had known that Li Yin was an inner disciple of the divine martial sect, he would have definitely joined hands and killed him. At that time, even if they knew Li Yin's identity, they would still have a chance to turn things around. After all, if Li Yin was dead, everything would be easier. Everyone on the street knew what Lin Fei had said. Wu Shixiang couldn't kill them all. If he did, not only would he be finished, the gangs in the Shanhe County would also be finished. Wu Shixiang regretted it. Not only did he kill Wang Kai, he was also tricked. Now, there was a sharp sword hanging above his head. He was in a dilemma. He lost the best chance to kill Wang Kai when he opened his mouth. Wu Shixiang was confident about Wang Kai's archery skills. Even his protective aura couldn't block this attack. Killing the 3rd young master of the Lin family would undoubtedly provoke Lin Jintian, who was in the middle stage of the profound practitioner realm. It was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. This brat was really cunning. Did he think that he wouldn't be able to kill him today? Wu Shixiang was furious. Wang Kai's archery skills were great. Nothing had ever happened to him when he challenged him. He had to take revenge. Even if he brought out an inner disciple of the divine martial sect, so what? Even if they couldn't kill him, they could still cripple him. The divine martial sect wouldn't dare to do anything. After all, there were many inner disciples in the divine martial sect. They couldn't just stand up for one. On the ruins, Lin Fei let out a sigh of relief. This person really had a background. He was actually a profound practitioner. Could it be that he was really from the divine martial sect? Chapter 173. P.S. Thanks to Smiling at a Lifetime, Yao Yao 7225, Resident Evil Terminator, Peach Blossom One Brother, Little Happy Brother, and above readers for their tips. Both sides were temporarily silent, but everyone knew that today's matter would not end peacefully. In the end, a fierce battle was inevitable. The Lin family lost a few experts, and the opponent lost a ninth heaven archer. It was a huge loss. In comparison, they were the ones who lost. After all, a ninth heaven archer was not easy to come by. A family could only produce a few ninth celestial layer experts. Archers were even rarer in an unpopular profession. The Lin family had killed an archer. They had a huge advantage. If before, everyone had doubts about third young Master Lin being able to kill a ninth heaven expert, then from today onwards, they no longer dared to have any doubts. Other than looking up to him, they were deeply afraid. The playboy of the past had leaped up and became a genius, easily killing a ninth heaven expert. A ninth heaven archer died in the hands of third young Master Lin. This blood feud was huge. I really can't believe the words of the past, who said that third young Master Lin was useless. A ninth heaven archer died just like that. I said that third young Master Lin is not trash. He is already so powerful in the ninth heaven. Once he breaks through, his strength will probably increase by leaps and bounds. Ordinary profound realm experts may not be his match. The Li family is gone, and the Zhang family seems to be scared. In the future, the Lin family is going to be strong. Gui Yuan City is going to change. This is hard to say. There are still 4 experts who have not appeared. If they do, no matter how powerful third young Master Lin is, he may not be their match. You are a fool. Don't forget that third young Master Lin has become an inner disciple. The divine martial sect is one of the 3 big sections. Who would dare to make a move in public? Third young Master Lin is not stupid at all. He is smart. Everyone was dumbfounded. They sucked in a cold breath. Third young Master Lin, whom they had always called a playboy, had shown off his prowess and easily killed a Firmament 9 expert. Who knew where they would be at this age? Third young Master Lin wasn't even 20 yet. He had a bright future ahead of him. From today onwards, the people of Gui Yuan City would no longer dare to look down on third young Master Lin, because third young Master Lin's future was bound to be limitless, and the Lin family was destined to flourish. What 4 princes? What young master? None of them could be compared to third young Master Lin. The 2 of them were on completely different levels. On the other side, Lin Xiao wasn't surprised at all. At that time, he'd been able to kill an initial stage profounder. Even if profounder had been heavily injured, he wasn't envious at all. Conversely, he was proud of his younger brother. Wang Fei and the others from the divine martial sect looked at each other in dismay. They did not expect their young master to be so strong. He killed them just like that, and the other party did not even manage to block a single move. Among them, Wang Fei was the most surprised. Senior brother Zhang Wudi really has a good eye. It hasn't been long since he broke through, but he's already killed an expert of the same level. The task of protecting the Shanhe County shouldn't be a problem anymore. Previously, Wang Fei's impression of Lin Fei had always been limited to the sex information. Back then, Lin Fei had soared to the sky and obtained the number 1 position in the divine martial sect's outer sect. That would be the 7th layer of the martial path. In such a short period of time, he was already at the 9th layer of the martial path. How did senior brother Lin Fei cultivate to such a level? If this speed was in the sect, everyone would probably be dumbfounded. From not paying too much attention to him, to now he was completely impressed. If there weren't others present, Wang Fei would have shouted, "Lin Fei is mighty." Senior brother Lin Fei was too mighty. With such a fast cultivation speed, he might even become a profounder expert soon. At the same time, in a private room on the street, One could see the ruins of the Lin family from a high vantage point. Miss, this is bad. Third young Master Lin killed an expert at the 9th layer of the martial path. A maid dressed in red hurriedly ran up from below. In front of the window, a person dressed in white, clean and tidy, exuding the aura of an icy mountain. One couldn't help but think that she could only be seen from afar and not be defiled. If Lin Fei was here, he would definitely be able to recognize her. This person was none other than his fiancée, the daughter of the city lord, Su Shuiyin. Oh, it was a plain word and no emotions could be heard from it. If one observed carefully, they would see a flash of surprise. Miss, what's so good about that pervert? Why did you? Fei Tsue said with dissatisfaction. She felt sorry for her miss. There were countless young masters in Gue Yuan City. Why did she take a fancy to this playboy? Fei Tsue, you are talking nonsense again. Fei Tsue lowered her head. Fei Tsue is wrong. Miss is angry? Su Shuyin's eyes were calm. Let's go back. Fei Tsue was startled. Go back now? Not going to watch anymore. Those people are very powerful. I heard that they are experts at the 9th layer of the martial path. They said that this time, the Lin family will suffer a big loss. The third young master of the Lin family will also suffer a big loss. 5 years ago, he was a playboy. 5 years later, he is a genius. If he can't even overcome this difficulty, then he is not Lin Fei. Fei Tsue didn't understand what she meant. Lin Fei, this pervert, was considered a genius? Miss was giving him too much face. Lin Fei didn't know that someone was talking about him behind his back. He had to deal with this matter first. This is the Lin family. No matter who you are, if you dare to kill people in the Lin family, he will end up like this. Lin Fei said coldly. In his heart, he was constantly guessing the identity of these people. Wu Shixiang said, "This is the end?" No wonder the Li family was defeated so quickly. Don't you want to know who we are? Then listen carefully. We are the people of Shanhe County, Tianxia. Shanhe County, Tianxia. The people who were talking incessantly suddenly quieted down. It was as if they had heard something unbelievable. Tianxia. It was no less than a heavy bomb. Everyone was unable to recover from it. After a long time, someone asked in a low voice, "Is Tianxia very powerful?" This person was immediately ridiculed. "Boy, you don't even know Tianxia. Don't tell me you came from the mountains." The World Gang is the #1 gang in Shanhe County. Even if all of the clans in Gue Yuan City were to join forces, we still wouldn't be a match for the World Gang. If the World Gang wants to kill someone, no one has ever escaped. In the past, a first-class family offended Tianxia. In the end, they were killed by Tianxia. They only sent a protector. No way. Tianxia is so powerful. Doesn't that mean that the Lin family is finished? This Li family is very powerful. I don't know how much they spent to get this Tianxia to act. Tianxia is as powerful as the clouds. It is known as the #1 gang in Shanhe County. It is said that there are 100,000 gang members. If I'm not wrong, there should be a deacon among them. Is the deacon very powerful? Of course, the deacon has a lot of power. Even if our city lord is powerful, he wouldn't dare to kill the deacon of Tianxia. Whoever becomes a disciple of the World Gang will have a comfortable life. They will be able to eat well and drink well. With such an explanation, the power of Tianxia made everyone look at each other in dismay. Tianxia's strength was too powerful. A 9th layer expert made a move. A second or third-rate family could be destroyed with just a few of them. No wonder they became the #1 gang in Shanhe County. Lin Fei's ears twitched. His heart sank as he felt the pressure. Damn it. Why is it not the Black Tortoise sect, but Tianxia? What should I do? Could it be that the Li family didn't inform the Black Tortoise sect and used a price to get Tianxia to act? Lin Fei's brain kept turning. He was thinking about what to do. The background of the other party was beyond his imagination. If the Black Tortoise sect made a move, Lin Fei wouldn't be worried. No one would dare to break the agreement between sections. However, gangs were different. They weren't bound by the agreement. When he returned to Shanha County, he heard a group of people talking about Tianxia. At that time, he took note of it and found out more about it. The World Gang, just like what those people said, was the biggest gang in Shanha County. 100,000 gang members was not a small number. As for whether or not there were any, it was definitely not a groundless rumor. There was an 80 to 90% chance that it was true. Shanha County wasn't an ordinary place. With 100,000 members, Tianxia indeed had the power to do so. Since the other party came with the intention of the Li family, it was equivalent to a vendetta. Tianxia wouldn't feel any pressure. What a ruthless method! Lin Fei engraved Tianxia and the Li family's remnant in his mind. As for whether Tianxia had anything to do with the Black Tortoise sect, he would have a chance to find out after today's incident. Lin Fei took a deep breath. Lin Fei shook his head. What bullsh asterisk T Tianxia? I've never heard of it. Could it be that you're just bragging? As for the Li family, they asked for it. We, the Lin family, are just following the trend. Divine Martial Sect's inner sect disciples. This protective token was temporarily useful, especially since they dared to mention Tianxia. It meant that they weren't afraid of the Divine Martial Sect. Why weren't they afraid of the Divine Martial Sect? They must have their own reasons. Brother Wu, there's no point in talking. Let Old Dragon kill this kid. The one-eyed man sneered and acted like he was about to rush out. A kid, who hadn't even grown his hair, was nothing more than this. Now that he had fallen into his hands, he would definitely take revenge for Wang Kai. Old Dragon. He's a disciple of the Divine Martial Sect. It's not comfortable to fight and kill. Why don't you go up and exchange pointers? I heard that the inner sect disciples of the Divine Martial Sect have powerful means. Old Dragon, don't you like to exchange pointers with other sect disciples? Today is a good opportunity. Wu Shixiang looked at Lin Fei and said indifferently, this was a good move. Since Tianxia didn't dare to kill him, he could completely cripple the other party. He was so powerful at such a young age. Once he was crippled, the patriarch would make a move and then kill him. Everything would be perfect. He could avoid death, but he couldn't escape punishment. This was what Wu Shixiang meant. A cold light flashed in the eyes of the one-eyed man. Brother Wu, this is a good idea. Since you're not an inner sect disciple of the Divine Martial Sect, I'll cripple your Dantian and turn you into a cripple. It'll be worse than killing you, and I won't have to worry about anything after that. It's killing two birds with one stone. What a good idea. Don't you think that it's very cruel for you to create trouble here? Chapter 174. P.S. Thank you 0000001G. 2 readers of Smiling for Life gave a tip. Something happened recently. Sorry about that. The few people who were about to attack subconsciously stopped. Especially Wu Shixiang, his face darkened. From the voice, he could tell that this person was not simple. He couldn't help but be surprised. Did someone want to interfere in this matter? The people of Tianxia did not need to care about others' feelings. Now that someone had appeared, did they want to go against Tianxia? They had personally promised the Xuanwu Gate that they would uproot the Lin family. The plan was perfect, but in reality, it did not go as smoothly as expected. They had just attacked and lost an expert on their side. It could be said that they had died before they could succeed. That bastard, get the hell out here. The one-eyed man said sinisterly. He didn't care about the consequences and didn't care about the other party at all. He just scolded them first. The Tianxia gang really didn't care about Gui Yuan City. They didn't even need to give the city lord any face. Arrogance and dominance were written all over the one-eyed man's face. The one-eyed man was used to being arrogant in the capital of Shanha County. Naturally, he did not care about the small Guiyuan city. Furthermore, he had just lost a good friend and was already angry. If someone came out to stop him, he would be asking for a beating. Who do you think you are to make such a big fuss? Zhong Zhang's loud voice suddenly sounded in everyone's ears. In front of the one-eyed man, a layer of white ice suddenly appeared and froze him in an instant. The surrounding area turned into a land of ice. The cold aura made people not dare to approach. Ice Seal Rune's attack. Open! Wu Shixiang saw that the situation was not good. He flicked his finger and pointed it at the one-eyed man. The ice that covered his body shattered like glass. The ground was filled with ice shards. So cold! The one-eyed man, who came out, couldn't help but yawn. His whole body was shivering. The xian qi in his body was almost unable to circulate. His eyes were filled with fear. He had been attacked by the runes. The one-eyed man was apprehensive. Even his own runes could not block it. If not for Brother Wu's help, he would not have been able to escape and would have died without a doubt. Your Excellency, why make things difficult for a boor? Wu Shixiang asked. His subordinates had almost been frozen to death, and Wu Shixiang had the worst expression on his face. If one of his subordinates had been frozen to death, he would not have the face to tell them when he returned. However, he also knew that the other party was a runes master. What a boor! A man and a woman descended from the sky. No wonder you're so arrogant. Do you think this is Tianxia's territory and you can do whatever you want? Since someone had interfered, everyone couldn't help but be curious. When this person landed, some people took a deep breath. Who would have thought that such a small battle would involve the president of the Rune Guild? This is going to be a good show. Chairman Mu hates fighting and killing the most. Someone immediately recognized him. Rune Society, president of the Rune Society. These 8 words were like a mountain pressing down on Wu Shixiang. Wu Shixiang rolled his eyes. How could this be? This was different from the script. Damn, the Li family. Why didn't they explain things clearly? Wu Shixiang could not help but complain. At first, he had heard from the Li family's young master that the Lin family was an enemy in Guiyuan City. The city lord did not like them, and all the other families were secretly causing trouble, not to mention the Rune Guild. With this attitude, they had killed their way to the Lin family, wanting to teach the Lin family a lesson. In the end, one of the young masters of the Lin family killed one of his subordinates on the spot, and the Rune Guild began to interfere. This is going to be difficult. Wu Shixiang said to himself in his heart. If it was another family, Wu Shixiang would not be worried. He could use Tianxia to suppress them, but it was different for the Rune Guild. Especially since it was the president of the Rune Guild, it was much more significant. Wu Shixiang did not dare to act rashly. He wanted to observe the situation first. At the same time, he hated the one-eyed man in his heart. Chairman Mu's appearance also shocked the other person. Damn, why did this treacherous old man appear? Lin Fei could not help but mutter in his heart. He could not help but be a little more vigilant. Last time in the Rune Guild, he was extorted by Chairman Mu for 100,000 silver. He could not even say anything about it. He was clearly the one being taken advantage of, but in the end he was the one taking advantage of others. What an injustice! When the president of the runes appeared, Lin Fei's first thought was that this old man was definitely up to no good. This old man was an old fox. He originally thought that it was quiet, but who would have thought that he would appear at this time? No matter what, this old man's appearance had a big influence. The people of Tianxia did not dare to move. He sealed one of their subordinates in ice, which showed how powerful he was. Seeing the girl staring at him, Lin Fei's heart sank. Sure enough, it was not something good. The people around did not know and thought that the Rune Guild had helped them. Third brother, we are really lucky. The people of the Rune Guild are here. As the big brother, Lin Xiao naturally did not notice the change in his third brother's expression. He was very happy. Yeah, it saved us a lot of trouble. Lin Fei was silent. Only then did Lin Xiao notice the change in his third brother. He asked, "Third brother, are you injured?" "No, I am fine." Lin Fei made up a lie. Let's observe the situation first. Facing so many experts of the ninth celestial layer, Lin Fei was under a lot of pressure. If it was one-on-one, there was nothing to worry about, but if they all attacked, then it would be disastrous. Although he was very strong, Lin Fei did not have the confidence to face so many experts, especially that brother Wu. He could not see through his strength. Currently, he could not see through the experts of the Xian realm. He did not have a good impression of this old man, Mu Changkong. Lin Fei had to return the favor that he stood out to help. As for how to return the favor, he did not know. He believed that they definitely came with a purpose. After this matter, he would know. Chairman Mu. Wu Shixiang repeated in his heart. He heard the discussions around him clearly and his heart sank. Their Tianxia was a big gang with 100,000 members, but when facing the Rune Guild, they had no chance of winning. Wu Shixiang hated this Mu Changkong. I came here to exterminate a family. Why did your old man come here? Why didn't he stay in the guild to make runes? Wasn't this deliberately causing trouble for me? However, Wu Shixiang did not dare to say these words. If he did, the first unlucky one would be himself. Tianxia also did not dare to say a single word. Against a giant like the Rune Guild, how many forces on the continent could afford to offend them? Wu Shixiang was indeed a tragedy. He came here with a murderous aura, but encountered such a situation. He was simply asking for trouble. Deacon Wu Shixiang of Tianxia greets Chairman Mu. Wu Shixiang cupped his hands. He still had to give face, especially after his discourtesy just now. He did not dare to be negligent. Who asked the other party to be stronger than him? He could not resist, so he chose to lower his head. Mu Changkong coldly snorted and descended from the sky. When he landed on the street, everyone showed a respectful expression. This old man can't accept the deacon's courtesy. Mu Ning, who was at the side, almost laughed out loud. Grandpa was really good at putting on airs. After looking at the corpse on the ground, she couldn't help but be curious. Was that pervert really so powerful? Damn, not good, I'm angry. Wu Shixiang's status as a deacon was shocking. Tianxia's status as a deacon had a certain amount of power, not inferior to that of a family leader. This deacon had suffered in front of Mu Changkong today. Wu Shixiang squeezed out a smile. Chairman Mu, you must be joking. The Rune Guild has always been our role model. I am deeply honored to be able to meet the president today. Wu Shixiang was putting on an act, but the smile on his face was very ugly. Mu Changkong swept a glance and saw the corpse on the ground. His eyes flashed with a trace of surprise. He thought to himself, what a good kid, with such talent, who spread the rumor that he was a cultivation trash. If this kind of strength is considered a cultivation trash, then what is a real expert? This old man's vision is not bad. Fortunately, I came today. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known this guy was hiding such a talent. Dual cultivation is worth nurturing. From that day onwards, Mu Changkong had sent people to investigate Lin Fei. From the information, it could be seen that Lin Fei was not worth a single cent. He was a playboy among the trash. After seeing today's scene, no one would think that he was a trash. Mu Changkong was glad that he had come at the right time. He had long since decided to accept Lin Fei as his last disciple. Talented disciples were not easy to come by, especially those who were proficient in dual cultivation. You Tianxia people sure have guts. You even dared to attack this old man's last disciple. What are your intentions? Mu Changkong's face darkened. His anger soared to the sky, and a murderous aura pressed down. The first to bear the brunt was Wu Shixiang. His eyes flashed with a trace of uneasiness, especially the last sentence. He was so scared that he almost fainted. Last disciple, you don't have to trick me like this. As soon as the words last disciple came out, there was a sound of cold air being sucked in, followed by questions. What was going on? How did third young Master Lin become Chairman Mu's last disciple? They had never heard of such a thing. Beat the young one, and the old one came out. Ha ha! No one can go against the Lin family's position in the future. With such a master, what kind of dog's hit luck did third young Master Lin have to become the last disciple? I'm so jealous. The most surprised was Lin Fei. Lin Fei's mind was blank. A few words kept echoing in his mind. I've been tricked. Originally, he was still wondering why this old man was here. Although he knew that there was a conspiracy, now that an overt scheme had appeared, it was to trick him to death. Last disciple? You have the nerve to kick me out. Isn't it obvious that you want me to agree? Lin Fei now had another opinion of this old man. He was a wily old fox. Lin Fei could be considered shrewd. However, he failed once again when it came to this old man. At this time, the girl revealed a smug look. She seemed to be saying, "Brat, you lost again." After Chairman Mu said that, Lin Fei suddenly had an idea. He knew that the old man was here to help him. Tianxia had many people, and he might need Chairman Mu's help. This timing was really bad. At the same time, all eyes fell on Lin Fei, as if to verify the authenticity of his words. Chapter 175. P.S. Thanks to readers Resident Evil Terminator, Oyo7225, and Autumn Maple for their tips. Mu Changkong threw out the hat of a closed-door disciple. It was like a huge thunderbolt from the clear sky, shocking everyone. The consequences of throwing out such a huge piece of news naturally made third young Master Lin the focus of attention. Some smart people even thought of the various situations that might occur in the future. A closed-door disciple was of great significance. Wu Shixiang couldn't back down now. If he brought his men away, Tianxia couldn't afford to lose face. If they wanted to continue going against Lin Fei, the situation would be extremely disadvantageous to them. If they incurred the wrath of this old man, Tianxia might not help them. This was difficult. Wu Shixiang regretted it. The Lin family had such a good foundation. As expected, they hid their strength well. With such a guild, even if they didn't make a move, it would still be a form of deterrence. The rest of the subordinates were also astonished. With the intervention of the Rune Guild, destroying the Lin family today would probably become a dream. After thinking for a while, Wu Shixiang gritted his teeth. If they couldn't destroy the Lin family today, they would lose their chance with the interference of the Rune Guild. Right now, they still had a chance. Whether they succeeded or not depended on this. Chairman Mu, what else can I do since you said so? Wu Shixiang used a move to advance by retreating. He pointed at the corpse on the ground. But this underling of mine was just sparring. It wouldn't be right for him to die here today. I need an explanation. What kind of explanation do you want? The person who came over was Mu Changkong. How could he not know what this person was thinking? He just wanted to fight with Lin Fei. Wu Shixiang was delighted. This was what he wanted to hear. I want Lin Fei to fight with my underling again. This isn't too much, right? This was the only way. A demonic kid killed his underling. He had to vent his anger. Mu Changkong looked at Lin Fei. Little Fei, you are my last disciple. You can decide for yourself. Putting another hat on him, he felt very pleased with himself. This time, no matter how you refuse, everyone will know that you are my last disciple. Lin Fei smiled bitterly in his heart. This old man was really cunning. He regretted casually writing that thing back then. Now he had an extra master on top of him. It's cold now. Lin Fei couldn't refuse anymore. He had already thought it through. If he were to leave Guiyuan City, he would need a backer. This would prevent Tianxia from playing any tricks. Isn't it just sparring? I'm not afraid. Lin Fei said seriously. I'm just worried that I won't be able to control myself and accidentally injure you. Lin Fei was prepared. This spar was not going to be easy. He knew that he had to teach the other party a lesson. If he went soft, he would be the one to suffer. Mu Changkong said, You haven't advanced for long, so you can't control your strength. They should be clear about this. Wu Shixiang cursed in his heart. If this is called not being able to control one's strength, then what is considered as being able to control one's strength? But in front of this old man, Wu Shixiang's confidence was suppressed. If he were to provoke this old man, then it wouldn't be easy for him to leave Gu'e Yuan City. With just a sentence from him, Tianxia had no choice but to consider it. I also have the same thoughts. Wu Shixiang said, the main thing is to exchange pointers. It's fine as long as there is a winner and a loser. Secretly, he transmitted his voice to the one-eyed man. When you make your move, don't hold back. Cripple that kid's dantian. Wu Shixiang was indeed a profound practitioner. His eyes were sharp. If he couldn't eliminate the Lin family today, as long as this old man was still alive, Tianxia could only swallow this anger. Crippling Lin Fei was a last resort. From the battle just now, it was obvious that this person had not advanced for long. If he was allowed to continue, he might pose a threat to Tianxia. For budding danger, it was necessary to eliminate it as soon as possible. Crippling his dantian was equivalent to becoming a cripple. This was the most suitable method. Deacon Wu, rest assured. This old dragon will definitely complete the task. When a disciple's skills were inferior to others and accidentally injure his dantian during a spar, no one could say anything. Even the president of runes could only swallow his anger in this situation. The other party was in the right. The one-eyed man patted his mount and pointed his sword at the other party. Abrupt brat, take this! So. The one-eyed man pointed his sword forward. Sword Qi went straight for the yellow dragon. He left his mount and instantly appeared in front of Lin Fei. This sword technique was very sharp. One could vaguely hear the sound of air breaking. On Lin Fei's chest, 3 white marks were left. If he hadn't dodged quickly, he wouldn't have ended up like this. What a fast sword! It's even faster than the swift sword of my fellow disciples. Coupled with the swift sword technique, it's simply a killing weapon. Fortunately, my earth energy is strong, and I have the protection of Vajra. In just the first round, Lin Fei had experienced the power of a true expert in the underworld. Third young Master Lin, you can't even dodge my swift sword. You're only SOO. The one-eyed man laughed. Under the swift sword attack, his opponent wasn't as strong as he had imagined. He pointed his sword forward and stabbed out a total of 10 times. Instantly, sword flowers flew over. Everyone could see that third young Master Lin was at a disadvantage. In the eyes of ordinary people, they couldn't see the attacks because the movement technique and speed were too fast. After images were left everywhere. Those who were weaker would immediately feel dizzy and uncomfortable. Unparalleled speed. Third young Master Lin is doomed. There were strong and weak experts in the 9th heaven. One swift sword, the other perfect and flawless movement technique. Chairman Mu, it seems that my underling is going to win today's competition. Wu Shixiang squinted his eyes. He was in a good mood. Just now he saw that Lin Fei was fast. If he wanted to deal with this guy, he had to use speed to defeat speed. The one-eyed man's swift sword and movement technique was enough to suppress Lin Fei. How could Wu Shixiang let go of this opportunity to attack the Rune Guild? In fact, he wanted to say, your last disciple is only SOSO. Serves you right for slapping your face. The competition has just begun. The outcome is not yet decided. Why are you so anxious? Mu Changkong's words were light. Wu Shixiang felt that his fist had missed. It was as if he had punched cotton. He couldn't see any effect. Grandpa, is he going to lose? Mu Ning didn't know why, but her face showed worry. The one-eyed man's sword technique was too fast. Every time he attacked, he would be seriously injured. It didn't look like a competition. Instead, it looked like he was risking his life. My good granddaughter, when did you start to worry about others? Mu Ning pouted and said nonsense. Grandpa is so bad. I'm doing this for your own good. If that brat loses, Grandpa will definitely lose face. I don't want to lose face with him. Who said that brat is going to lose? Do you see him injured? Mu Changkong's eyes shone. I really don't know how this brat trained. His movement technique has reached the limit. This brat wants to break through his current realm. Amazing, amazing. Once he breaks through his realm, even a profound practitioner will have to admit defeat in terms of speed. Mu Ning's cherry mouth turned into an O shape. Since she was born, her grandpa rarely evaluated others. But now he started to evaluate someone. Honestly, Mu Ning didn't want to believe it. Mu Chongkong was happy in his heart. He had really found a genius this time. One sword after another. Each sword was faster than the previous one. They were perfectly linked. There were many bloody holes on Lin Fei's body. He looked very embarrassed. In the eyes of outsiders, he seemed to be doomed. Apart from the two of them, no one else knew what was going on. The one-eyed man was filled with anger. His sword technique was extremely ruthless. With this kind of speed, anyone would die under his sword. But unfortunately, he met a freak. He could only injure his opponent, but he couldn't seriously injure him. Damn it. If this goes on, it won't be good. This brat isn't fighting back. What is he thinking? I have to use my ultimate move. Otherwise, I won't be able to deal with this brat. The one-eyed man was actually very depressed. The experts he had met before were not as good as him in terms of speed and sword technique. It was too easy for them to kill people. They could barely use 10 moves. In the world of martial arts, only speed was unbeatable. Therefore, the one-eyed man had been working hard on his speed. That was why he was able to practice fast sword technique and movement technique. But today, he couldn't get any advantage from Lin Fei. Every time he was about to seriously injure his opponent, he could dodge it. Every time he dodged, it was as if he was laughing at himself. Your fast sword technique is only SOSO. Lin Fei laughed out loud. He stretched out his little finger to show his disdain. Humph, don't be happy too early. Today, I will let you see what a real fast sword technique is. The one-eyed man threw caution to the wind and used his ultimate move. Residual Shadow Sword. 2 fast swords appeared in the left and right hands of the one-eyed man. They attacked Lin Fei from the left and right, leaving behind a series of afterimages that were dazzling. Fast sword, two-handed sword. This was the real ultimate move of the one-eyed man. When combined with this sword technique, the two-handed sword wouldn't be able to block a single sword. Swish, swish, swish. Lin Fei's scalp went numb. He had experienced this feeling when he used the 10,000-mile saber. It was a very dangerous sword technique. Soon, Lin Fei calmed down. Damn it, you are so cowardly. If you want to break through, you must dodge this sword. Only by dodging this sword can I have the chance to raise Sui Feng's status to the second realm. Lin Fei's eyes revealed a touch of determination. Originally, he planned to kill the opponent. A level 9 expert, there was really nothing to worry about. However, when the opponent's fast sword landed on him, he suddenly realized something. His breakthrough seemed to be on the opponent. Sui Feng's movement technique had always been his right-hand man. However, as his strength increased, his movement technique was constantly limited. If he wanted to improve, he had to break through. Hence, the previous scene happened. Faster. A little faster. No, it is still too slow. I need to be faster. Lin Fei raised his speed to the limit, but his scalp still felt numb. He hadn't come into contact with the danger yet. Brat, go to hell. The one-eyed man seemed to be able to see Lin Fei's miserable appearance. Residual Shadow Sword, a two-handed sword, stabbed out a fatal attack. Under a sneak attack, even profound practitioners would be injured, let alone a brat. It was extremely difficult to dodge the attack. Hence, this brat would lose without a doubt. Faster, faster, faster. When the sharpness sword technique was so close, Lin Fei's heart skipped a beat. Originally, it was extremely difficult to merge into the air, but now, it was like a fish returning to the sea. Chapter 176. Missed. Under the afterimage sword, Lin Fei had actually dodged the attack. The one-eyed man's complexion was extremely unsightly. He had thought that he would be able to severely injure Lin Fei, and he might even be able to cripple the latter's strength. Yet his attack had actually missed. It was hard to believe that his killing move had been dodged. Wasn't this too easy? The one-eyed man was more confident in his speed and attacks than anyone else. Even though his opponent had a huge advantage in terms of speed, his earlier attack should have been able to pose a threat to him. But now, the one-eyed man truly had no idea what was going on. His earlier attack had been a foot away from the other party, and just as it was about to land on the other party, it had been dodged, as if someone had forcefully pulled it away. How could the one-eyed man not feel terrible? Afterimage soared. How could the one-eyed man let this matter rest? It must have been an accident that the other party was able to dodge the first attack. He didn't believe that the other party would be able to dodge the second attack. The afterimage sword flashed and pierced toward Lin Fei once more. This time, its speed surpassed the previous attack, reaching its true limits. Even the air was sliced into two, resembling a stream of water. Damn, did I activate another side system? The leveling system had many side systems, and Lin Fei wasn't very confident. When he heard that he would be rewarded with 1,000 points, he immediately realized that these points would be of great use to him. Right now, he had to deal with this fellow first. It's all thanks to this fellow. Otherwise, my movement technique would still be stuck at the first realm. Now that I've entered the second realm, my speed is clearly much faster. It feels as if I've merged with the wind, giving me a strange feeling. Could this be the legendary intent realm? Just a moment ago, when he was just a step away from death, Lin Fei felt fortunate for himself. The other party was very powerful. If he hadn't forcefully broken through, he would have suffered greatly from that earlier attack. Even if he didn't die, he would have been severely injured. On account of the fact that he has helped me greatly, I'll spare his life. However, this fellow is vicious. It's a pity to keep his strength. I might as well cripple him. Lin Fei thought to himself, now that my drifting wind movement technique has entered the second realm, I wonder what level my speed will reach. Seeing the one-eyed man's attack coming, that untraceable two-handed sword suddenly slowed down in Lin Fei's eyes, as if it had been stopped by the air. Scram! This time, Lin Fei didn't use the wings of the wind to help him. His whole body shot through the sky like a cannonball. Everyone saw a shadow flash by and immediately heard a bang sound. The one-eyed man of the ninth heavens flew out like a kite with a broken string, leaving a long blood-red trail behind him. Anyone could see that Lin Fei was surrounded by perils just now and was almost heavily injured. But how long had it been? Lin Fei had reversed the situation and defeated the one-eyed man? So fast! He's too fast. I can't even see his shadow. What kind of movement skill is this? Did he make another breakthrough? The people below were all dumbfounded. At such a speed, they couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. With such a fast speed, they couldn't even catch a trace of his movements. Meeting such a fast person, there was no need to continue fighting. No matter how they fought, they would lose. If they couldn't even see his movements, it was equivalent to losing the initiative and everything. In the scene just now, many people of the eighth and ninth heavens couldn't even see the route. It was so fast that the naked eye couldn't catch it, and they were shocked. In the ruins, the one-eyed man crawled out, looking battered and exhausted. How could you dodge my attack? Pucci! He spat out a mouthful of blood, and his face instantly turned pale. With that trash speed of yours, you can injure me. Lin Fei laughed. Didn't you want to injure me just now? Now, I'll let you have a taste of my move. I'm going to kill you. As soon as he finished speaking, a figure suddenly appeared in front of him. With a paw sound, he felt a burning pain and was sent flying, crashing into a large building and turning it into ruins. The taste isn't bad, right? Lin Fei kicked out again, and the one-eyed man flew out like a ball again. His face was full of shock. You comprehended the concept. The one-eyed man pointed at Lin Fei, and his face became even paler. He didn't want to see this scene, even if he was beaten to death. Recalling everything that happened just now, he suddenly realized, you hit it well, using danger to force you to break through the realm and comprehend the concept. I'm done for. As soon as he said this, the scene burst into an uproar. A 17-year-old comprehended the concept of the wind. What a genius! The Lin family really produced a genius this time. The concept of the wind. A 17-year-old comprehending the concept of the wind. Comprehending the concept of the wind. Unless someone also comprehended the concept of the wind, no one is a match for Lin Fei. He comes and goes like the wind, the concept of the wind. After so many years, our Goei Yuan city finally produced a genius with the concept of the wind. Even if it's a profound practitioner, it will be very difficult to kill someone who has grasped the concept of the wind. Unless he kills with a single strike, no one can catch a genius who has grasped the concept of the wind. There were too many firsts today, and their strong hearts seemed to have adapted to it. In the entire Shanha province, only a few people could comprehend the concept of a 17-year-old. Concept was an existence that was extremely difficult to comprehend. However, any genius who comprehended the concept of the concept would, without exception, become an influential figure. Generally, geniuses who could comprehend the concept of the wind would need to be in their 20s. Furthermore, they would need to come from a large clan with a large amount of resources to produce such a person. Once one mastered the concept of the wind, it was equivalent to mastering a powerful killing technique. The concept of the wind would give one an absolute advantage in terms of speed. The concept of the wind would be of great help as one could utilize all the attributes of the wind. Although the one-eyed man's speed was very fast and could cause damage to Lin Fei, who had comprehended the concept of the wind, was actually very slow. He couldn't dodge Lin Fei's attack because his speed was too fast. In the world of martial arts, speed was unbreakable. Since Lin Fei's speed was unbreakable, he would be in a situation where he would be beaten. The one-eyed man deserved to be unlucky. Speaking of which, Lin Fei being able to comprehend the concept of the wind was also a kind of luck. The system had already integrated the drifting wind body art into his mind. The only thing he lacked was the ability to use it. You helped me comprehend the concept of the wind. I will not kill you. Without seeing any movement from Lin Fei, the one-eyed man let out an ah sound of pain. He fell to the ground with a dispirited expression. His eyes were lifeless. My Dantian! You destroyed my Dantian! This move of his once again caused people to feel fearful. Killing someone was just a matter of nodding one's head to the ground. However, destroying one's Dantian was the same as losing one's strength. At their level, which one of them didn't have any enemies? This was even worse than death. Lin Fei didn't care. Not killing the one-eyed man was already giving him face. As for Tianxia, who would be angry out of humiliation, there was no need to worry. From the start of the counterattack to the end, it was unbelievably fast. Lin Fei's mood wasn't just good. It turned out that after comprehending the concept of the wind, every time he moved, his body would become like the wind. There were no longer any restrictions. Of course, when Lin Fei comprehended the concept of the wind, the one who felt the most uncomfortable was Wu Shixiang. His eyeballs were about to fall out, and his heart was filled with hatred. If looks could kill, it was unknown how many times Lin Fei would have been killed. Originally, Jiang Yi thought that the one-eyed man would definitely succeed. However, the result was like this. It was really hard to imagine. Not only did this guy not die, but he also comprehended the concept of the wind in danger. Wu Shixiang couldn't wait to slap this kid to death. A kid at the 9th heaven layer could at most be considered to have decent talent and could become a profound practitioner in the future. However, after comprehending the concept of the wind, it was a completely different story. At least, it would be very difficult for Wu Shixiang to kill the other party unless he killed him in one strike. Even though the speed of a profound practitioner was very fast against this kind of abnormal kid, the gap was too obvious. I brought trouble to Master again. I'm really sorry. Lin Fei acted obediently and threw all the trouble to Mu Changkong. Previously, Mu Changkong could tell that this kid wanted to make a breakthrough. However, he didn't expect that it would be to comprehend the concept of the wind. A 17-year-old comprehending the concept of the wind made Mu Changkong so happy that his teeth almost fell off. Fortunately, he acted quickly and became his disciple. If he was snatched away by those old farts, it would be a big loss for him. Crippling a martial artist's dantian, Mu Changkong didn't think much of it. Killing a kid who comprehended the concept of the wind was a very easy thing to do. Right now, this method was very suitable to his taste. He was a peace-loving person. Fighting and killing were good, and he hated it the most. Little Wu, are you satisfied now? Mu Changkong's light words were no less than a big slap on Wu Shixiang's face. At this time, what else could Wu Shixiang say? The one-eyed man had become a cripple, and he had lost 2 of his subordinates. It was not easy to find them, and he had suffered a great loss. These were not the main points. The main point was Lin Fei, a genius who comprehended the concept of the wind at the age of 17. He was simply a monster. Once this kind of person became a master, he would definitely bear a grudge and harm Tianxia. This matter must be reported back. Wu Shixiang made up his mind to immediately bring his people back to the capital of the Shanhe County. He must not give Lin Fei the chance to grow. Congratulations, Chairman Mu. You have accepted such a genius disciple. I hope we will have the chance to spar again next time. Wu Shixiang squeezed out a smile and turned to his subordinates. Bring the one-eyed man, let's go. The other 3 subordinates were filled with fear. The one-eyed man could not even block a single move, let alone them. After losing their confidence, they could not wait to leave this place. When the people of Tianxia wanted to leave, no one dared to stop them. Watching them leave Guiyuan City in a sorry state, a large number of sighs could be heard. The entrance of the Lin family's ruins, blood, corpses, mounts formed an unforgettable scene. The Lin family was really going to rise. An expert who comprehended the concept of the wind, they could not find another genius in Guiyuan City. It could be said that they were invincible in the 9 heavens, unless the other party also comprehended the concept of the wind. Therefore, those who wanted to mess with the Lin family were all disheartened. The rise of the Lin family was inevitable. Moreover, the other party had the president of the Rune Guild. Who would dare to offend such a huge mountain? Even more people were secretly thinking that when they returned, they would immediately make a trip to the Lin family to familiarize themselves with them. Who knows, they might be able to get close to them.